Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
What in the world is going on? Drapes back with us. He's back home. And Drapes, we're going to talk a lot about that incredible Kings win last night. But now we got to talk about what in the world is going on with the Denver Nuggets. The Kings' next opponent firing their coach today. Oh, you know what? You got to plug in here, I think. Yeah. Apparently that jack is no longer functioning.
All right, there we go. It's been a minute. Yeah, I haven't been here in a while.
Because if not, they're going to try to say we didn't tell them.
Seriously, I had no idea. Okay, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
I got so much to say about this Denver Nuggets situation. I mean, it is – we thought what happened to Mike Brown was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Malone, Calvin Booth, 3-4 games left to go in the season. Is Michael Malone going to say classless organization or no class, no balls or whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
Can he say that about his organization now, Michael Malone?
We'll see. By the way, another Kings connection, which I know is not what you're talking about, but David Adelman now, the head coach.
Yes.
And Adelman is coaching a head coach in the NBA again.
Yes. His dad, obviously, coach here in Sacramento, and it'll be interesting. I would imagine they're either on the flight right now or have arrived here in Sacramento already for tomorrow's game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think this happens if the Grizzlies hadn't just fired Taylor Jenkins? I mean, it's just the weirdest thing to see that happen once right before a team starts the playoffs, but two teams doing that? I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around.
I like that little.
Please, Eddie.
To me, Whitey, and I don't know. We're going to have Tony Jones of The Athletic, who covers the Denver Nuggets. He is more locked in with the Nuggets than anybody. He'll be on later, coming up at about 5:30. But to me, something must have blown up behind the scenes. You don't fire a coach, and ESPN had a graphic, and they talked about it. This is the latest firing of a coach in NBA history, tying Hubie Brown back in 81, 82, I think it was.
Wow.
Like, you don't fire a championship coach. Oh, you got some Hubie? You got some Hubie?
All right, look, he's shooting 43% from threes.
How does he say the word league? Have you ever noticed that?
How is it?
It's like league.
Yeah.
In the league.
I'm like, it's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
No, but you don't fire a it was 2 years ago the Nuggets were champions, Whitey.
How about this? Nick Nurse won the title with the Raptors 2019, gone. Frank Vogel won the title with the Lakers in 2020, gone.
Yeah.
Mike Budenholzer won the title with the Bucks 2021, gone. Michael Malone won the title with the Nuggets 2023, gone. Damn. They're all gone.
All gone, man. And I, like I said, something had to happen behind the scenes because, and Chris Mannix tweeted this out, usually you fire the coach or the GM.
Right.
Nobody fires both this late into the season. To me, and this is just me speculating here, there had to be a blow up behind the scenes where the owner said, all right, both of you guys are out of here. Because now the reports are coming out, they barely spoke to each other. There was a rift between the two. Well, if there's a rift between two parties, don't you usually choose a side? And I would think Denver would go with the coach that actually won a championship.
You would think.
Or at least do it after the season. What was the sense of urgency right now for Denver to make that move?
Yeah, it's bizarre. Obviously, they both had a lot of success. They both had a hand in your championship. So I'm with you. I'm just echoing what you said. But you'd think from the standpoint of the Nuggets evaluating, what do we do here? You'd think at least one of them is worth keeping around.
You would think, right?
Yes.
And you would think Michael Malone had enough history and enough goodwill built up in terms of winning. What are they, the fourth seed right now, 47-32? That's not a horrible record. I understand they've fallen on some hard times, but Jamal Murray's missed the last 5 games. You would think if you're going to choose somebody, you probably choose Michael Malone to stick around because Calvin Booth, a lot of people are coming down on him. You lose KCP, don't want to re-sign him. Jeff Green, some of the moves you made, they're questionable. You don't build a roster around Jokic. I get it. But Michael Malone, why get rid of him? This is more than just the team was 47-32 and had lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
There's something else going on, Whitey.
Drapes, my read on this, which was apparently wrong for the last few years, was, all right, Michael Malone's frustrated. The team doesn't want to get into the luxury tax, and so they have a championship caliber team, but they're trying to bring in younger players because they don't want to pay. They don't want to, they don't want to pay well into the tax. So I thought, all right, Calvin Booth, you can question his moves, but he must be doing what ownership wants him to do, right? They are bringing in young talent, and they still are having some success.
Yeah.
So he's gone too. Now I just don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
What about just the conventional wisdom that it's terrible timing to fire a coach right before your team plays their most important games of the season when your team is doing well?
To me, it's a signal you're waving a white flag on this season.
Yeah, I guess
because there's no way, unless you're Ty Lue and David Black, and that happened earlier in the season. That happened in January, if I'm correct. There's no way this late in the game, and no offense to Adelman, he might be a fine head coach, who knows? There's no way that this all of a sudden spurs your team, galvanizes your team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mess out there in Denver. And like I said, Tony Jones coming up in a few hours.
As you know, a lot of the reporting is suggesting that defensive problems are one of the roots of this situation. But again, and we've talked about this a lot. Everybody who talks about basketball has talked about this a lot. When Denver won the championship, they were 15th in defensive rating.
Right. They were never a lockdown top 5. But here's the thing, Whitey. And the first thing I thought about when Malone got fired is, did Jokic play a factor? Because, hey, how come I'm not here? When Mike Brown got fired, everybody like pointing the finger at De'Aaron Fox. How come no one's pointing the finger at Jokic? And you talk about defense, Whitey, look at some of the clips. Look at some of the effort that is not being made by Jokic defensively. Jokic is putting up all these glorified numbers. I get it, Hall of Fame numbers, some of the greatest numbers ever. But he's only playing on one end of the floor right now, and it's an abomination what he's doing defensively.
Mm-hmm.
People get on LeBron for not hustling defensively. Jokic, he doesn't leave the paint. Like ESPN showed 6 or 7 clips, Whitey, of Jokic pointing, staring at guys. And it's like when your best player, and he's great, he's like Hall of Famer, isn't giving maximum effort, come on, man.
Well, I'm sure you found this interesting.
Yeah, what you got?
This is from Tony Jones' story in The Athletic. Sam Amick also contributing. According to league sources, the team's defensive decline played a significant part in the recent rise in organizational frustration. The Nuggets were 20th in defensive rating. Jokic has been frustrated with the team's defensive commitment and performance this season. Jokic.
Don't get me started on Jokic, Whitey. You know how I feel about the guy. I think,
I wonder where that's coming from.
You
know what I mean? If you're right, and, we see it, then, people are already trying to steer the narrative this way or that way.
Well, and that's my point, too.
Yeah.
How much did Jokic have to do with this?
Yes.
And how much did Jokic not showing a commitment on the defensive end sort of lead to Michael Malone's firing?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he had a rift or some beef or maybe, didn't have a belief in Michael Malone anymore, maybe he's not going out there laying it on the line on both ends of the floor. I think there's more to this story. Hopefully Tony Jones can clear it up for us.
Yeah. How about this? Amandrock says, is it too early for Drapes Takes, or is this a Nuggets segment? Hang on. We got that.
I know.
Just a couple minutes.
I almost called for it. I almost called for the bonus Drapes Take, but we got plenty of time. We got 4 hours today, huh?
Sure.
Well, I mean, unlike you guys, I actually worked yesterday.
Yeah, I heard you yesterday.
You call it? You did work?
I heard what you said yesterday. I almost called
y'all
you.
calling me street clothes and all this. You guys both took off yesterday. I had to hold it down by myself yesterday.
I took off because you offered. Friday,
That's
you were nice
teammate.
enough. Yeah.
That's a good teammate.
You said, I'll pick you up.
And then you had tickets to the game, too. And we'll get into that. And so I didn't even know that. So it actually worked out perfectly.
It did work
right?
out. Yeah. So tonight I got to hustle out of here. But I'm not leaving early.
Are you going tonight?
Absolutely.
But you got the 3-pack? 3 games?
Just the 2 games.
Okay.
Because tomorrow's a day game.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah.
So.
You actually going to work tomorrow.
It looks like it. I'm working on it behind the scenes.
I'm like, man, you guys are living nice while I was gone. I thought I was the only one taking advantage of the schedule and the early starts and everything.
Yeah, you had a short show for us, and then I know that wasn't work last night calling that Kings win.
Dude, that was amazing, bro. I'm telling you, Whitey, the vibes are different with the team, and I saw it last week. I saw it in the Charlotte game. I saw it when I got to Cleveland. The guys are loose. They're feeling good. Coaching staff. They're trying some new things. The vibes are right now with this Kings team.
Yeah, what happened? Maybe we'll find out what's going on with the Kings when we get to Drapes Takes.
Yeah.
It's coming right up next here with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Advanced Infusion Center, where we prioritize your comfort and well-being. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or seeking specialized IV therapy, our state-of-the-art center offers tailored solutions to meet your needs. Advanced Infusion Center's dedicated healthcare professionals are here to ensure your safety and provide personalized care. Conveniently located in Sacramento and Yuba City with flexible scheduling options. Experience a new standard in infusion therapy. Visit Advanced Infusion Center today at advancedinfusion.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
So, Jay, what did our guy Draper say about us yesterday?
Him and honorary drive guy Kyle was in yesterday. And so Drapes goes on like, it's probably about halfway through the segment. I'm looking up. I see him. He's got his 5-piece suit on. You know, everything was moving and grooving. And he looks up and he's like, first of all, you know how Drapes does it, man. I got to give love to Drapes because Drapes is my guy, man. Real talk. Like, he sees Dwayne Casey. He's peace signing Dwayne Casey like you know him on first name basis.
I do. That's my guy. That's my guy right there.
He sees somebody else. He's like, what's up, big time? You know, I think it was somebody else that was like a coach or something at the who'd you see, Drapes? So somebody from Philly, right?
No, that's my guy, Jerome Allen.
Yeah,
Jerome Allen.
Like, I know that. So he's dapping folks up, throwing stuff up. He's like, hey, I'm courtside.
You're right. Nobody does it like Draper does.
Yeah, very true. So then he looks up and he's like, by the way, Kyle, you're here. I'm here, right? He's like, yeah. You know, Kyle's like, yeah, I'm here. Man, why am I the only drive guy that's working today? Right. He's out, man. They calling me street clothes, and he commits to just what he said. And I looked up and I was like, that's about 2:16. So he probably got about 8 more minutes tops. I should call his ass right now. Talk about he's off. Talking about we've been off all week and all this other stuff, and he's putting in overtime, extra time, traveling, and all that. I said, okay, man.
I will say this, fellas. The location in Detroit is optimal. It might even be the best location for radio in the league. G-Man is second row right behind me and Katie. And so I thought, as I'm hollering at Dwayne Casey, my boy Jerome Allen, I'm like, damn, this would be perfect to just get guests on. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But it was only a half-hour show, so I was like, I couldn't do it. But I was thinking it as I was doing, I was like, this is what we need here.
Yeah.
We got people walking by, yo, come on over. Like, who did we do that to outside? Sean Cunningham was at that time? No, not Sean.
We did a lot of people.
Jason Anderson.
Yeah.
When I shamed him to coming on.
I can. I'm dead like, come on.
Come on. Like, we could do that with a lot of people, man, if we were courtside every game.
So it was almost Draper's Radio Row.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Right now, it's time for Drapes Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
All right, Kings fans, I got to start off with something that has nothing to do with basketball. Zilch, zero, nada. This has to do with my experience in Detroit yesterday. You know, a lot of times, and I think we should do this, Jay, you guys ask me who has the best arena in the league, best media meal and everything like that.
Who's got the worst one?
I'm not going to say
okay.
I'm not going to say it. But the best one, Detroit. Their media meal is so good. You had coaches coming over. You had security guards coming over. Their media meal was so good, fellas. I skipped lunch that day.
Wow.
Because I wanted to make sure I had enough room in my belly to get 2 helpings. They had pizza. They had pizza breadsticks. They had chicken. They had fried chicken. They had brisket. They had jambalaya. Like, they had like 8 or 9 main course meals. And it was a buffet, Whitey. You could go up as many times as you want. And so, and I put it on Blue Sky yesterday because I took a picture. Whitey, hold on for a second. I'm going to have you tell the people at home exactly what this picture says. And I'll get to basketball here in a second. So I go into
Some
media
things are more
dining.
important than basketball.
I go into media dining, and I understand people in Detroit are kind of arrogant. They think they're the best city out there. They think they're tough and everything like that. But I've never seen this before in my life. What does that say, Whitey?
Best media dining in NBA.
The Pistons put that up outside.
Self-proclaimed.
And I said, you know what? You're right. It was amazing. And so I wish we were in the Eastern Conference just to go to Detroit 2 or 3 times. Like, it was so good. Even Katie had multiple helpings.
Has it always been that way?
Always. It is the crown jewel of the NBA. Next time I'm going to take a video, post it so people can see. Oh, my God. It was like Thanksgiving in there. There was so much food.
Wow.
Is this something that's known throughout the NBA circles?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mom knows this. I mean, I'm telling you, coaches usually don't come to media because they already got their – dude, everybody was coming over. Doug didn't come over, but everybody else came over. Monty McNair was up in there. Everybody, man. And so shout out to Detroit for providing the best pregame meal. Now to the game. Sorry we had to smoke y'all last night. Let me start off with my guy, Zack Lavine. Can we get off Zach's back now?
Yes.
Are we finished talking and doubting Zack Lavine? I understand he needs to have be more consistent. Can't be having 7-shot attempt games. But Zack Lavine is the guy we build around, Whitey.
Drapes, he was like COVID last night. Shutting that town down.
That was pretty good. Nobody else might think it, but I'm pretty proud of that one.
Jay just gave me a look like, what are you saying? So
I was pretty proud of that one last night.
I had Detroit's broadcast.
Oh, did you? Yeah, Jay. When Zach was on that heater, I said, he's out here like COVID-19 shutting the city down. Because that place was quiet, man. They were starting to leave and everything. But I think when we look at it and everybody talks, well, Zach is making 40-something million and everything like that. I don't care. I look at him as a piece. I look at Sabonis as a piece. And honestly, I feel like we got a true big 3 right now. It may not be championship caliber just yet, but what I'm seeing these last few games, a 3-game winning streak, Whitey, shows me there is something there. It's not as bad as people made it out to be a couple weeks ago.
Each of those 3 games that you're talking about, Domas and DeMar and Zack Lavine, they all had big games.
Exactly.
In the same game. 3 in a row.
That might be the recipe right there.
Yeah.
You know, it may not be, no offense to Malik, we'll talk about him in a second. It may not be, Malik, we need you to get 20. Keegan, we need you to shoot 15 to 20. We got a bona fide big 3 right now. And I'm not saying it's, Celtics of 86 or the Lakers with Worthy, Kareem, and Magic. But on any given night, these guys can carry you. And this is the thing. And this is something I talked to Doug about. Doug is bullish on this team for the postseason. I understand playing OKC is going to be tough. I understand that. But in terms of slow it down game, tight game, 7-game series, we got elite shot makers in the clutch. Like, I like our chances in close games because we got DeMar, because we got Zack Lavine playing like this, Domas doing his thing. Can we beat OKC? That's a tall task. I'm not saying that. But we're not that far off from being relevant in the playoffs. I'm not just talking about showing up and getting swept. I don't think that's happening, Whitey. If we make the playoffs, I'm not thinking we're getting swept.
Especially if they defend anything close to the way they defended in the second half.
Yes, how about that?
Who is that?
Right. You
Who
give
are
up
those guys?
72 in the first half, and then how much in the second half? 40, 45 in the second half. And this is Detroit, who is a really good team. Like, they're physical. They got shooters. Cade Cunningham is a beast. Detroit and Cleveland, what the Kings were able to do defensively to those two teams, that showed me something right there. Let me talk about my next take. I got to give Keon Ellis and Devin Carter their credit. Let me start with Devin Carter. That stretch he had, Whitey, where he scored 7 in a row, tremendous. But it's not just about that. He's competing every time he's on the floor. He may be a little undersized, maybe a rookie, but you can never question Devin Carter's heart on the court. He was battling Cade Cunningham out there. Cade's phenomenal, though. He's nice. Nobody can really slow down Cade Cunningham, but the effort was there. He's not backing down from anybody. I call him the Tasmanian Devil. He might be like a Damon Stoudemire, Mighty Mouse kind of guy because he has such a huge heart out there on the court.
There are a lot of Kings fans, or some Kings fans anyway, who've been using the B word over the last several months describing Devin Carter. Yeah, there's been indications, people hinting. I would say, I can't speak for Jay and Drapes, I would say it's okay. We amnesty on that. Just don't do it anymore because you're wrong. Because he is not a bust.
Right, and I would say this. 35 games or however many he's played, we don't know. Like, you can't make any conclusions on Devin Carter yet.
Right.
Like, that's ridiculous.
But you know, people get down, they should tank, and this guy's terrible. They drafted him, and he's terrible. It's like, no, that's just not correct.
Not correct at all. And he battles out there. And I thought Keon Ellis, he probably had the best 36 minutes and 51 second 1-for-2 game in league history. Like, this guy is everywhere, Whitey. His tremendous hustle and not giving up on any play, deflections. They only credited him with 3 steals. I thought he had 4. Maybe they took one away. But Keon Ellis is a disruptor out there, man. And he got the short end of the whistle, I thought, several times last night.
Yeah.
But, man, he's a baller, man. I love watching Keon Ellis play.
Well, this is a classic example of what you always point out. If someone didn't see the game and they looked at this, they'd go, oh, you didn't get much out of Keon Ellis. But you'd be wrong. You'd be dead wrong.
I do have my box score in front of me because my computer is reloading. So I had to print out the box score.
Nothing wrong with that.
Can we give JV some credit, too, while we're at it?
Jonas Valanciunas? Yes.
I thought Valanciunas, that run in the second quarter to, stabilize things, if you will, was huge. Whitey, he had 9 rebounds in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
In the first half. It was crazy. He played like 5 minutes in the first half. Like, that dude, he was ready for that smoke with Isaiah Stewart, and I thought he delivered last night.
He was about a rebound a minute, 12 and a half minutes, 12 rebounds. Yeah.
So impactful.
And that little jump shot he made was
right.
So
So impactful. And last Drape's take has to do with my guy, DeMar DeRozan, who is playing the best basketball of his season right now. His 37 points, people ain't even talking about, Whitey. He might have had the quietest 37 points in the history of the league. That's because Zach went off. But DeMar, and we talked about it, I think yesterday with Kyle. We didn't talk about it. I talked about it with Kyle because you guys were off.
That's right.
But they're running the offense a lot more through DeMar also. And he's making, for the most part, the right decisions. I know the assist numbers weren't high yesterday, but he was so efficient, 14 to 26. 37.
Well, he smelled blood with, I like Schroeder, but with Schroeder on him, he knew it. That guy can't stop.
Right, exactly. And that's why I think these Kings, man, whether it's in the play-in tournament or even if they make the first round, it ain't just going to be a cakewalk. Losing to Washington those days, Sacramento Kings fans, that's over this season. This team is locked in. The vibes are good right now, and I'm bullish on this team with this last 3 games, especially with the Denver Nuggets reeling right now, imploding as we speak. That's Drape's Take. It's brought to you by
Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
What you got for me, right?
Yeah, we'll come right back with what surprised me the most about that win last night. Next to the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. from a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At SMUD, we power business. With incentives, strategic account advisors, 50% lower rates, and clean energy solutions, we help businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPfest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Rocks Tech, Michelob Ultra, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPfest.com.
You know the old early bird and worm thing? Well, here's an early bird special and Bonnie's lowest price of the year. Imagine an entire new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as, ready, $11,789. Take advantage of that. $11,789. Hurry though, this is a limited offer and ends April 15th. The sooner you act, the sooner you save. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Looking for fun for the whole family? Sacramento Rivercats Baseball has it all at Sutter Health Park. Enjoy exciting baseball, kids' activities, tasty ballpark treats, and more. Family memories start here. Get your Rivercats baseball tickets at rivercats.com.
Spring has sprung, and now is the best time to spruce up your home. Between spring cleaning and evaluating your home, it is the perfect time to reach out to the folks at the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Jason Ross here, and I'm so glad we did. We reached out, and we're now about a month in to our brand new garage doors. Now, first off, we improved our curb appeal. They look great, and it's one of the first things people notice when they approach your home. A new, modern, stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your home, just like it did for us. Also, how about this for a nice benefit? The return of investment. A new garage door is high on the return of investment home improvement project list. It's one of the more cost-effective upgrades you can make to improve your home's value. Hey, see for yourself. Check out their products. Go to the showroom at 6756 Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Listen for the Toyota Tahoe Report every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with Johnny Mosley to get the latest weather conditions in Tahoe throughout this snow season. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Oh, basking in the afterglow of that big Kings win last night. I will tell you, it was kind of hard to see the beam from Sutter Health Park. And I know they didn't turn it on until the sun went down, and it's so bright there. The lights are brighter than they used to be out there at Sutter Health Park. Okay. And so I know a lot of people were posting. I couldn't see the beam until the game was over, and I was in the parking lot looking for it, and I was like, oh, yeah, there it is. So it's just because of the brightness.
Is that a disappointment? Like, I think people were excited
maybe
to see
a little,
it
but I mean, it's just there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can see it from the parking lot, and it's certainly worth celebrating. It's cool. I've never seen the beam from that far away, and just seeing how high up it goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
But let me just say this. We'll get back to the Kings.
What you got?
This I want to do this on the tail of Drapes Takes, because this would be like a Drapes Take. We got a lot to say about the A's, everything going on out there. But if you go to a baseball game, I get the sense that there are some people going out at some of these games. Maybe they don't go to a lot of games. In some parks, if you go up to get something to eat or you got to go to the bathroom or whatever, and you want to come back to your seat, they will hold you up until there's a break in the action. Yeah.
Do the NBA games too.
Yeah. A lot of people at the game last night were unaware of that etiquette, to the point where there was one point, there's people standing up talking to each other while the game's going on. They're not even going anywhere. They're just, hey, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. Sit down.
So hold up. Is this a shot at Sacramento? Is this your, we don't know how to act at a Major League Baseball game, Whitey? Is that what you
I
said?
think we have a lot of people that go to a lot of Rivercats games. This is a great baseball town. So, no, I'm not taking shots
I
at
thought
Sacramento.
you were talking about baseball etiquette, and we don't know what we're doing out
I
here.
think Sacramento Zoo. Maybe there was a lot of Padre fans there last night, but it was just a lot of people. I get the sense that maybe they're like Sacramento sports fans. Like, I'm going to go to a baseball game.
I'm just happy
Well,
to
there's
be here.
people trying to watch the game.
You ain't missing nothing, bro. Ain't nothing happening. One every 20 pitches, big fella.
Yeah. And so, do you want to miss that one in
that's
20?
true.
Because
you never know. That could
That's
be
it.
the one. Okay, all right, I see you. All right. I
Like,
got
come
you.
on now.
I know.
You really calling them out today for that?
I'm calling out people who do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like be aware. You
So
know?
these were people in their seats and they were standing up, or
Yeah, at one point there, and there was a lot of coming and going, and I get that. You know, it's like that's fine.
Oh, but like
you
when
could be a
people
little
walk
more
past it.
selective and
Okay.
when you get up and go. But I get it. But yeah, literally, if you rose down from me, there's people standing up. There's like 5 people, and one guy got up to talk to the woman at the end, and they're just standing there talking, like hugging, and how are you? I was like, come on, the game's going on.
I missed it. So I was thinking it was on the concourse. This
no,
is
no,
literally
no.
at your seat.
At the seats, Jay, standing up.
Gotcha. Okay, I got it. I
Yeah, that's
missed
kinda weird.
misinterpreted
That's kinda
what you
weird.
said. Yeah, it is
That's-
terrible.
that's
Be
weird.
aware of your surroundings. That's all.
Them the same guys that's carrying ball gloves to the game too, huh?
You can't do that?
No.
Come on, Jay.
Man, stop it. You can't be grown with no damn glove on your hand trying to catch a ball.
I'm with Drapes on that.
No, man.
Are you take a glove?
I don't.
No,
but
not, I mean,
would if someone
that's
does. I don't
what's
have
wrong
a
with
problem with
Y'all
it.
need to
Hey,
stop.
dog,
Here
ain't
we go.
everybody play
Ain't
professional
got nothing to do
baseball
with
and
me.
go to
Ain't got nothing to
Texas
do
and
with
the
me,
star
man.
player?
It got to do with you.
So what's wrong with that, Jay?
You can't take no glove to a ball game post
How am I
about
going to
15
catch it, big fella?
with your palms.
I got the drink in one hand, the glove in the other.
And that's where the drink can substitute for the glove. Have you not seen people catch it in the root beer? In the beer cup?
I hear you, Jay.
You see, a few years ago, the guy had the baby in one hand
Yeah.
and the bare hands alive.
Absolutely. Come on, man.
Shoot, I'm
Carrying
going
an
out.
infant.
Dog, I'm trying to snag us a couple of things. I'm gonna be out like,
Especially depending on where you're sitting.
playing shortstop out there, diving. Big
I don't know
fella.
So
that I've
both of
ever
you
done
guys
that, but
take
I
your
don't have.
gloves.
I don't know if I've ever taken.
I don't
one,
know.
but I don't have a problem.
Right,
with
that's my thing. I don't have a problem. If you got it,
Man,
I get it. You know what I do have a problem?
36 carrying a Rawlings?
46,
No, man.
56.
How about
whatever.
this, fellas? How
You
about
need it
this?
more the older you get, Jay.
I agree with that.
Do you have a problem with grown men seeking autographs?
I kind of do.
A little
Me
bit.
too.
A little
Me
bit,
too.
yeah.
Because I show up at these when we get into town to go to the hotel, be like 10, 11 grown men just
Yeah.
stare at it. And that's a little.
I'm trying to think.
I
if
don't
I've
think I would
done
ever
that.
sign that. I don't know
Yeah.
if I would sign that.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah, I'm
kids,
with
I
you.
would do it 100 times out of 100.
Mhm.
But grown men, it's like, come on, bro.
See, the only problem with that is first of all, friend of the show, Imran, who hosts Card Show, True
Yeah.
Sports Card Show with Whitey
Right.
here on Saturday.
You were in a couple weeks.
Yeah, the tough part about that is this.
What?
We are all sports fans right here, right?
Yeah.
We all have guys that we grew up admiring, people that we admire that we didn't grow up, but we still like the way they play. My thing is I think it's the way you go about it. Like, I would love to have an Allen Iverson autograph.
Right.
So how am I supposed to get that besides buy it? But let's just say this: us three here, and a lot of other people, we're blessed to know people.
Right.
So if we're in the same vicinity and Iverson is sitting there, it's wrong for me to say, "Hey, answer. Can I get an autograph from you?" That's like seeking an autograph, or is it in the atmosphere of where I'm asking at?
Part of it is, to me, is if there are kids around and you're like, sign mine.
Well,
not
that's
the kid.
different.
Yeah.
that's
You
different.
That's part of
elbowing
it.
the kids out of the way and everything.
That's different.
Now,
Give 'em the chicken wing.
right, giving it the chicken wing and everything. I don't like taking a picture. Okay, I could get it. You know, you see somebody out, yo, Joe Montana, you mind taking this? You know, I get it. But an autograph? That's for kids, right?
He's also mad, Jay, because he almost ran into Aaron Judge yesterday,
Oh, you didn't hear this story,
Nah,
Jay?
what happened?
but he missed him.
I messed up, man. So when I arrive in the city, I'm trying to get to my room. I'm trying to relax, put on my comfy clothes. So we get into Detroit. We're staying out in the suburbs in Birmingham. We roll in at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, going up on the elevator. And there's these guys on their elevator with us, and they're dressed nicely. And I'm like, damn, who are these guys? You know, and we get off, and one guy's like, you know, how's it going for you guys? And we're like, yeah, our season's almost over. And he says, your season's almost over. Man, ours is just beginning. And I'm thinking to myself, man, it must be a soccer club or something like that. Because these guys aren't like massive though, I'm around basketball players. So apparently, Jay, the Yankees were staying in our hotel.
Dang.
But because I ran up to my room so quickly, I missed Aaron Judge and all those guys, like the big names. Katie and everybody else saw him.
Yep.
And I probably would have fanboyed over Aaron Judge.
Because he thought it was an MLS team.
I thought it was MLS. I'm like, bro, we the Sacramento Kings.
The Houston Dynamo, man. I ain't tripping.
Right. I'm like, we the Kings up in here. But it was the Yankees, bro. And I'm like, dang.
So let me take a step back. First of all, you dropped the ball there. And a drive guy, you're supposed to do that. How do you go about, because I'm with you guys. I don't ask for autographs because, again, we've been around this enough. Yeah. But there are still a handful. Like, if I see Griffey, I'm like, hey, man, I don't even want a picture. Shouts out to you, Griff. I enjoyed playing ball. You were my guy growing up. Frank Thomas, you were my guy. Pokey Reese, you my guy. Now, I might grab a picture, but what if I got a jersey? I can't ask for it right then and there?
Well, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But
I know, I'm just saying. Yeah, I know that. But.
And I got you. Yeah, like Arthur Smith says.
Yeah, what do you say?
I'm a grown man, sports fan also. I like to go to the game. If I get an autograph, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I go for it. Yeah. Just don't push out little kids. How about that?
That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
But that's what the glove is for.
Right. I would say, fellas, it depends on the environment.
The situation.
Yeah. So if you
read the room,
checking into a hotel and you're on the elevator, you gotta play it cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's cool. Yeah. But if you happen to be out and about and y'all walking and you pass, Aaron Judge, what's up, my guy? You dap him up and everything. Maybe you do it, but I think it depends on the environment you're in.
And you've been around those guys a lot more than I have. Been around a few of them, but you are better equipped to like get a sense of just from looking at the guy. Is he in a hurry to get out of here?
Right.
Saying, hey,
yeah. You can tell the vibe on something.
So then how does one approach one of you guys? I've been out in public with you, games, things like that. People recognize you, and I've gotten people like, "Oh man, that's Whitey," and I'm like, "Go just say what's up to him," But they're sometimes they don't want to.
Never look or speak directly at Mr. Gleason.
This guy, big time over here, big time. Oh, is that what happened since I've been gone? Gee, you hold down a few shows in a row.
He's become the Luka. Right. He's the Luka of the station now, the Austin Reeves. So, but my thing is, you guys would never turn away anyone.
Right.
It could be
always
from the age of 2 or to 102.
Sure.
You guys aren't turning that down. So how do you guys go about it as people, I don't want to say celebrities, but, people of interest?
I'm sure Drapes being on TV is a bigger, a Q factor would have much dwarfs mine. So,
I would say this.
Yeah.
I never turn down anybody. Some people say, when you're eating, you shouldn't be disturbed. But I always talk to people.
Stuff like that.
And I'll say this, fellas. I'm going to peel back the curtain a little bit. Take you inside the world of Drapes here for a second. My ex, it would bother her because she thought I spent more time pleasing, people that knew me taking pictures and signing instead of like, damn, we out on a date. Can I, and so I never thought of it like that. I never viewed it as I'm not paying attention to her. Like I viewed it as I'm trying to be a nice guy to these people, but she couldn't, I don't want to say she couldn't handle it, but it did bother her a little bit. And I think it goes to whatever relationship you're in, knowing your partner at the time. If it's bothering them, hey guys, I'm out with my family right now, maybe some other time or something. You got to be respectful of that.
That's a way to go about it though, fellas. It's like you said, if I see you eating, I'm not approaching you. Hey, it's shots out, pair of bunny rabbits, man. I respect what you do. Much love to you.
My dad always told me not to do that, but I actually did that once when I was a kid to Vita Blue.
What?
I went up to get his autograph when he was eating.
Ooh, did he give it to you?
He did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it was one like,
Did he give you a look?
A little bit, but he was pretty nice. He really was. And then, he didn't remember that, but he was the nicest guy.
I'm putting you guys on the spot because I'm actually a fan now compared to working with you guys. Drapes, have you ever given a picture or an autograph to somebody that sounds like an adult or something? You're like, man, this dude's a chump. Have you ever thought about that in your mind?
No, never.
Oh, okay.
Never.
How about yourself, Whitey?
Never.
No?
No, I don't think so. If I thought that, I'd find a reason not to
give it to
I know,
Which
right?
I don't think.
Fake like you on a phone call or
Yeah,
something.
something. When we come back, as promised, I'll tell you what was most impressive about that Kings win last night to me. Do you feel the same way? What does Drapes think of that? We'll find out next on Sacktown Sports.
Spring is in the air, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping for new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and advanced fiber solutions, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Switch today and ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig speed package. Offer ends 4/21/25. New customers only with a 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Look at this. The love pouring in for Kyle Draper. Of course, no surprise. Amadrock. I dapped up Drapes on the Kings concourse. He's straight up a nice guy. Recognized me as a loyal listener. It was cool. Greg Hyatt. My wife and I chatted it up with Drapes at the Seattle airport a few years back. Good dude.
All right.
Thank you.
Amadrock, I took a pic with JJ during the Beam Team season with Cattles and Rami. We're broadcasting outside G. Jay's approachable too?
Well, he doesn't actually say it went well or anything.
Oh,
does he?
right. He just
seriously,
Yeah,
Drapes is such a great guy, was cool. And then with Jay says, I took a picture with Jay.
Yeah.
But we don't know the rest of the story.
Yeah. No, no, you got to read the second one, though. Met up with Alan Stiles at a River Cats game a couple of weekends ago. all of them approachable.
Approachable.
So that
okay.
includes Jay, I would say.
Yeah. I think you're right. Very nice. Drapes.
Yeah, what you got, man?
Yeah. Here's what was most impressive to me about the Kings win last night. Where the Kings somehow, some way, losing to Washington, then, okay, they beat Charlotte. Yeah. Then you beat Cleveland. What? And then they beat Detroit. Just flabbergasted.
What you got?
That second half, when the second half began, to me, the third quarter, the Kings didn't play especially well in the third quarter. They were down 10 at halftime, but they played hard.
Yeah.
They didn't shoot the ball especially well, a few turnovers here or there, but they were really competing at a level that we haven't seen enough of this group this year.
And I think what happened, Whitey, and you're 100% right, watching that game, and this was on the scouting report. This is something Doug talked about during the film session. Detroit, they're going to grab you. They're going to hold you. The officials aren't going to make the calls. And that's exactly what happened in the first half. I thought Detroit's physicality took us out of everything. Doug talked about it before the game and during the film session. He told the guys, I don't want to match Detroit's physicality. I want to exceed their physicality. And so I thought in that second half, that third quarter you're talking about, we matched or at times exceeded their physicality. And I give Devin Carter a big reason. I mean, he was picking up full court. He was competing hard. And that's the thing that I'm seeing from this team, whether it's Cleveland the night before or last night. This is what we needed to see against Washington. That's why Washington was so disappointed. It's one thing to lose a game, but to sleepwalk through the first 3.5 quarters like the Kings did, that's frustrating. But these last two games, especially second half, they were competing hard.
But if it took that loss to Washington for them to sit down and figure out whatever they had to figure out, it's worth it. I mean, that's a little too convenient of a narrative. I know Doug last night, by the way, were you the only one in there with Coach Christie after the game?
I mean, there was other people, but
it's
I
like a one-on-one.
Yeah, I asked all the questions.
Because didn't he say something along the lines of, well, we as men, we had to get together and sit down. And yeah. So it looks like whatever happened against the Wizards forced them to figure some things out. And if that was the price for that, it was worth it because right now they're playing really well.
And Doug said it yesterday in a post game. Sometimes you don't always get what you want. You get what you need. And that loss to the Wizards was something this team needed. And I'll be honest with you, I was walking out of that Wizards game and I was talking to somebody high up in the organization. And I said, we just played basketball. We did not compete at basketball. You know how it is, Whitey. It's two different things. It's one thing to just play. And that's what we did against the Wizards. Last two games, we actually competed. And that's what we got to see from this team.
Jay and I were saying after that Wizards game, not to just belabor that, but it is relevant to what's going on now. They looked not so much like they had checked out, but like they were just so unsure of everything. They were almost trying to get it over with. And now it seems like they have a clear understanding of how they're going to beat teams.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was curious what you thought of this. From about the, 5-minute mark, 5.5-minute mark or so, to the last minute, really. I mean, Zack Lavine had been you rarely see a guy on a heater like that ever. But then there was a long stretch where they didn't give him the ball.
Yeah.
They still were scoring, and so it was effective, but I was and you said something, which is what drew my attention.
You heard that, yeah.
It's like, wow, he's not even getting touches.
Right.
He can't miss.
I'm like, you would think you'd get the ball to Zach,
Yes.
And Detroit, did an adjustment, did a good job, but there were 4 or 5 straight possessions and I'm just like, damn, this guy's on a heater right now. And so you're right, that did happen. And fortunately, DeMar was cooking and he got scoring too. But yeah, and the one thing I will say, I feel like the Kings have done a good job, Whitey, is feeding the hot hand. Like when Zach has it going, when DeMar, when Keon has it going, Keegan, like usually they did. But that was a 3-minute stretch where I was like, uh-oh, we might lose this game. If we go into resort to just ISO ball and not give it to the guy that's been hitting everything, we're in for some trouble. But then they got back to Zach, and it was okay. But I saw that same thing you're talking about.
Yeah, and then to close well on the road, 2 games in a row against good teams. Somebody here in the chat says, Detroit's overrated. Detroit's a really good team. And you know how good Cleveland is. And to do that in back-to-back games where you have the lead in the fourth quarter, which has been, if you're a Kings fan right now, it's like oh no, you're like Indiana Jones. Here comes that
Right,
boulder.
right.
Here it comes, and then for them to prevail both times, I think there's reasons to think they have figured something out, quote unquote.
Well, and here's the thing too about these wins. Cleveland, okay, you could put that on the shelf. It is what, but Detroit, their style of play, Whitey, those are the kind of teams that give us fits. Those physical, tough, hard-nosed teams that keep coming. Like Detroit kept coming. Like Detroit's effort and energy never really waned in that game. Like they were bringing it. Tim Hardaway Jr., Schroeder, all those guys, they were bringing it last night. And we matched them and exceeded them. And I feel like at times our problem is when the team ratchets it up and goes to a level, we don't know how to respond. Last night we did. How about this real quick, Whitey? Change a quick subject here.
Mm-hmm.
Denver Nuggets just posted a video about 46 minutes ago. Hear from Josh Kroenke, vice chairman of KSE, regarding today's news. Dang. Yeah, we botched that one. We botched that. I'm going to just call it. We botched that one. That's in the past, but the Nuggets are trying to handle it the correct way. At least they're making a statement. It's state-run TV that they're on. You know what I mean? It's going to be a bunch of softballs and stuff like. But they got a 3-minute and 30-second video that they posted.
This has been in some ways the most stunning year in the NBA, where you had the Luka trade. It's like no one would even believe that if you told them it was going to happen. And then the Taylor Jenkins trade, which seemed to make no sense. Excuse me, the firing, not the trade, of course. And then this firing. Just right before the playoff start. It's like, this just isn't done. So I don't know what's going on, Drapes, what this trend represents, but I'm having a hard time figuring it out.
And the thing about it, it's one thing to fire coaches that are in the lottery, that are terrible.
Sure. Yeah.
You got 3 teams in the top 9 in the Western Conference that have moved on from their coach. I mean, Denver is 47. They could win 50 games this season, and Michael Malone gets fired. It just doesn't make sense. Memphis, obviously some things going on behind the scenes, but they're 46-32, Whitey.
What about this? Again, I'm just grasping at straws. Could they be trying to get a jump on hiring Taylor Jenkins?
Nah, I don't think so. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense from this regard. You also fired Calvin Booth. To me,
technically they just said we're not going to renew him, but
but he's out, right?
Yeah.
He's out. Like his contract was coming up, but to me, something blew up behind the scenes, and it had to be done immediately. Like you could have conversations with Taylor Jenkins, behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And so I don't know what it is, man. This is the most shocking move from a coaching standpoint out of anybody.
It would be interesting to hear, as you pointed out, what Jokic has to say about it.
Yeah.
It's not fair to always assume, their best player was behind it, but you can't help but wonder. It's a fair question.
And now this game tomorrow night, if I'm correct, this is an ESPN game as well. So you got ESPN and the 2 local broadcasts. You're going to have national media out there. People want to talk to Jokic, whether it's at shoot around or post game. Like all eyes are going to be on Sacramento tomorrow, and obviously Lakers and Dallas too. But this elevates this game now.
What do you think of the idea of maybe beating Dallas and then playing Denver for a shot at the playoffs?
Why are you trying? You're trying to get me in trouble here, man. I'm afraid of Denver. I don't like the matchup, especially Jokic. If Jamal Murray's healthy, I don't like the matchup. I'd rather face a Minnesota. I'd rather face, Memphis. Denver,
reeling Memphis.
Reeling Memphis team. Denver still scares me just because Jokic is so great. But if he's checked out defensively like he's been these last few weeks, I say bring him on.
Do you think that Memphis and Denver perhaps are trying to grab lightning in a bottle with one of the new coach bumps in the playoffs again? I'm just grabbing at straws because none of it makes sense to me. I think that'd be idiotic.
I think Memphis looked at their Jenkins replacement as the guy. Like his interim tag is going to be removed. He's going to be the coach. And so I feel like Memphis felt they would be better off with, and I don't know the guy's name. I'm blanking on it right now. But they would be better off with him going forward. I don't know if Adelman gets a real shot at the job after this season. Maybe they go out there and try to hire a big name. Who knows? Mike Brown. Who knows? You just never know. And so
Tomas Isalo.
Yeah, Isalo. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. And so I don't know what the hell Denver is doing, to be honest with you.
Let's just hope it takes them a few games to figure it out, if they ever figure it out. And easy pickings for the Kings tomorrow night.
Yeah. How about this, though, real quick, Whitey, because I know you're going to the baseball game. Sawyer Hotel should be bumping tonight. You got Jokic and the Nuggets there.
Oh, yeah.
Padres there as well.
I'm going to get a lot of – bring my glove and
Bring
get a
your
lot
glove.
of autographs.
All right, get some autographs as well, man. Why not? Why not?
When we come back, some Kings fans won't like it, but this is how this team is going to win. Next with the Drive Guys, Sacktown.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneaker peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
I love this time of year when the azaleas begin to bloom and the singing birds' sweet dawn chorus remind us that blue skies and sunshine are at hand. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. In sports, the definition for the word master is one who's achieved a high degree of skill, and that will be on display in the highly anticipated golf tournament. In the furniture business, a master is a highly skilled craftsman, an artist even, whose work is coveted by those who appreciate design, quality, and durability. John Keyes was the mastermind of Naturewood Home Furnishings. He knew that you wanted your home to reflect your personal style, whether that was a plain coffee table or a masterpiece for you to enjoy forever. That's why when you walk into Naturewood Home Furnishings, you'll find the largest and best selection of the highest quality home furnishings in Northern California. Masterful. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Get ready for a night of legendary rock and roll. Styx and Kevin Cronin live in concert Saturday, April 26th at the Nugget Event Center in Sparks, Nevada. Don't miss your chance to see the iconic sounds of Styx with Kevin Cronin on stage, bringing you all the hits. It's a night you won't forget. Tickets on sale now at NuggetCasinoResort.com, so grab yours before they're gone. Styx and Kevin Cronin live Saturday, April 26th. More info and tickets at NuggetCasinoResort.com. Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Are you ready to unlock your business's potential? Hey, I'm Alan Stiles, and you can do that with Roxas Technology Solutions. Their mission is to empower growth through cutting-edge, reliable, and scalable technology. They tailor solutions to enhance efficiency and foster innovation, ensuring your business thrives in the digital age. Located in Sacramento, their dedicated team is ready to partner with you for your long-term success. Transform your business now. Go to roxtech.com. That's WROXTECH.com. Rox Tech. Tomorrow's technology at your fingertips today.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
With the carousel of coaching chaos continuing to spin in the NBA, Michael Malone, goal! Calvin Booth, GM of the Nuggets, effectively let go today. Here's a couple of predictions, Drapes, from the smartest listeners and viewers in radio. What do you think of these predictions, Patrick Donaldson? I predict Bob Myers will take over as general manager of Denver. If the Warriors don't advance in the playoffs, Kerr will be let go. Myers will hire Kerr. Malone will get hired by the Warriors as coach. That's Patrick Donaldson.
Hey, he connected all those dots. I thought he was just going to stop with Bob Myers going to Denver. He's like, going to hire Kerr after that, and then Malone goes there. Right? Yeah, I'm not buying it.
I think if and when Steve Kerr's let go, I think he's going to take some time. How about this from the 916 on the text line? Michael Malone coming back to Sacramento.
Well, he was, but then they fired him. He was going to come back to coach tomorrow's game, but no way. That's, dude, snowball chance in hell, right? Like, there's zero chance of that happening. I've seen a lot of fans talk about, we should make that happen. And I'm like, nah, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, and, a lot of Kings fans are curious. A lot of NBA fans are curious to see where Mike Brown might end up in all this if something opens up for him here.
Well, think about it. You potentially have, two, I guess, if you say Denver, and who knows what happens with Doug here, but also got to keep an eye on San Antonio.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be another move or two with some of these other teams. And so Mike may be having his choice here this offseason.
To me, Doug Christie should be back as a head coach. If there's any way he could show that he should get the job, to me, he's already done that. And I'm not saying they need to name him now.
Okay.
You wait till the season's over, but I don't know what more he could do. And I know there's still some pizza left in the box, and they could lose some games, get knocked out. But to get them to this point with everything they've been through, and for them to play so well on this road trip with him there, if you're even considering him, I don't know what more he could do. That's my opinion.
Did you feel this way after the Wizards game, or did you feel, oh, man, Doug's in trouble?
I did feel that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But the way they've responded is that's why you wait.
That's a big boost. Yeah. Right. You let it play out.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And what we've seen these last couple of games is these guys are fighting to the end. That's all you can ask for from a coach. And I will say, from an X's and O's standpoint, I like what I'm seeing from Doug and Jay Triano. They've switched up some offensive things. We've been talking about that, right? Whitey putting Zach in a better position to succeed, DeMar. And so they've changed some things up, which I think has been huge as well.
I think they're also learning that with this team, you have to embrace the ISO. It's not a matter of the way Doug used to play when he was on the Kings and sharing the ball. That's a beautiful brand of basketball. This roster doesn't really fit it. Last night, that's about as big of a win as they've had all year.
Yeah.
They had 20 assists last night.
That's not a lot.
No, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sorry to cut you off, but no. I think we have to, as Kings fans, start to, really take hold of that. This whole notion of we play fast and free and everybody touches, that's not who we are. That does not fit our personnel right now. And so this idea that we're, who we are is the 48-win Beam team or last year's team, we've changed. We've morphed a little bit where it doesn't always have to be a 35-assist game, a 30-assist game. Last night, we were very efficient. Why did we shot 51%, 40% from three? Only took 27 threes last night. I think 8 in the first half. This wasn't typical Kings basketball from a couple years ago.
Right. Me personally, like a lot of fans, I think, I prefer a style that has more ball movement. But if you look at this team, DeMar had 26 shots last night. Zack Lavine had 28. And then Domas with 11 was the next most attempts. But I think that's the way this team has to play to be at their best.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And, to me, it's about recognizing, because we have elite scorers. DeMar and Zach are elite. It's recognizing who has the hot hand, who has the advantage, and taking advantage of that. And it doesn't always mean chucking it up either, though, like we've talked about before. Sometimes it's Zack Lavine, he's on a heater, but now they're running at a double at him, so you draw him out and you pass it to the open guy, and now you got an advantage on the backside. And so I like what we're seeing from this team right now. And I didn't mention this during Drapes Takes, but I think a huge part of this is Domas is getting back to being Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, he had 10 of the 20 assists last night.
Yeah, like what we've seen from him the last 4 or 5 games, he seems to be – remember, he had a good 2-week, 3-week stretch where his numbers, and I understand he was hurt, his numbers were down. He's still finding ways to be impactful despite DeMar shooting 26, Zach shooting 28 times.
Yeah, I thought, to my eye last night, they got back to some more high post stuff with Domas, but it wasn't only the dribble handoff. They were also running different things off, like the dribble handoff where a guy would start to go to the dribble handoff, then he'd reverse. Little wrinkles, things like that.
Yeah. How much do you think what we saw last night was the absence of Malik Monk? Obviously, we'll have to see what happens. And how does Malik fit back in when he comes back? Can they still rely heavily on DeMar and Zach when Malik comes back?
And Keegan, too.
And Keegan. Forgot about Keegan Murray.
Yeah. We love Keegan. But, yeah, it almost seemed like DeRozan and Zack Lavine, like they recognize, okay, those guys aren't here, so we're just going to play the way we want to play. And to me, the reason it's clear the Kings need to play more like this is because the offense the last couple of games, those guys have played with much more confidence. And there has been less, of that tentative approach.
Yeah, you're
they
right.
need their shots.
They need their shots.
They're going to be on your team. They need their shots.
Zach for sure needs his touch because DeMar is always going to get his, right? He's going to find his. No, Zach, meanwhile, seems to have taken on a more, even going back to the Charlotte game, I think he led the team in scoring that game. Like, it's starting to click for him. And I thought last night, too, Whitey, as I pull up the numbers here, he took 7 shots in the first quarter. He came out aggressive right from the jump. That was the most shots out of anybody on the team. I need to see that Zach night in and night out. That's the Zach. Zach, you are the guy. And like I said before, nobody's going to look at him and be like, yo, why are you taking so many shots? They encourage Zach to take it because when Zach is hitting like that, man, we're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, and I know you guys talked about this last night, but you look at what he's done the last 2 games from the 3-point line where he's 15 for 22.
That's unbelievable, man.
It almost is unbelievable. In an NBA, 15 for 22 at practice would be like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
This is in game situations against 2 good defensive teams.
Yeah, that's about 68%, something like that. 60. I mean, it's ridiculous what he's doing out there. And I don't think, and I was trying to recall this as I was making the call last night. He might be the single best heater player in Sacramento history. And this is what I'm saying, because it's like nobody else out on the floor matters.
Right.
When he's in that zone.
Yeah.
He's giving us something, and I haven't seen it. Aaron hasn't been like this. Like the shot making that he has when he's on, it's
like
unbelievable.
Valanciunas last night, just
right.
Like Home Alone. Whoa,
right.
Yeah. The last 2 nights, you look at the numbers. The numbers say the Kings have shot the 3-ball well each of the last 2 games. The Kings haven't. Zack Lavine has.
Yes.
If you take his numbers out, they're like, ooh, that wasn't very good.
Right.
But he's single-handedly making them a legitimate threat from the 3-point line.
He's unbelievable. And Doug talked recently about him and Keegan shooting 10 or more. About Zach last night. What would he got? 11 threes up?
Yeah.
And he made 8 of them. And that's the thing, man. It's beautiful to see. I mean, he does. And how about only one turnover last night for him? That had been an issue in some previous games, turning it over. He was locked in last night. I mentioned it several times. Something about that building. He had his career high 51 in that building a few years ago. And so more Zach. I need more. I need it tomorrow night, too, against Denver.
Your partner, and she only had one time that I can recall last night where she couldn't see. And this was not, they're too high up. It's like, well, it was hard to see because someone walked in front of me. So, but there was only one time last night. But she pointed out, right? She said, I think, in her mind, the whole game changed on the fact that the Kings limited turnovers in the second half.
Oh, yeah. They were coughing them up in that first half, and when you look at it, they had 12 for the game. In the first half, Whitey, they had 8. So they only had 4 turnovers in the second half. And the thing about it, that first half, 8 turnovers led to 16 points. They only forced 1 turnover. Detroit isn't a team that takes care of the ball, Whitey. They're 22nd in the league in turnovers. So we were giving it away, and we weren't taking it away from them. But then when you look at the second half, I got the numbers right here. We had 4 turnovers. They had 8. So we turned it up defensively, and we took better care of the basketball.
Is it foolish to think we have a clearer idea of who the Kings really are right now? Something we've been talking about for months. Do we know who they are now? Can we say that? Oh, yeah. Identity. Yeah, we know who they are. Is that foolish to say that?
Yeah, I think so. And here's why, because it's something you just brought up. What about Malik? What about Keegan? When they Now, if they still do this when they're whole and healthy, I think so. There's a difference between who they should be, who we think they are, and who they really are. I need to see a little bit more from them to say, all right, this is who we are now. We're good to go. We found our identity. I still need to see a little more.
And there's different components to that, but the one that may be most important going forward is just how hard they competed in the second half. If they can consistently start doing that, it all goes hand in hand. If they're running an offense that everyone is comfortable with, they play with much more force offensively. But if they can bring that, and they're physically, right? Doug always talks about making them feel you. They literally were doing that last night in the second half against Detroit. So that, to me, is the most encouraging sign. Fingers crossed.
How about this stat? This is a little trivia. Who do you think had the second most minutes in the second half?
We're back with the answer.
I like
also,
that.
we got a little Josh Kroenke sound.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking Denver Nuggets executive, talking about the firing of Michael Malone. What did he have to say? We'll hear it next on Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
When he gets a heater going, it's a different type of heater. It's, you just want him to touch the ball every time. So we were trying to create ways for him to get it, knowing that they're going to be physical. They're going to top block in the corners. They're going to blow up DHOs. And guys found him, and he found the game to his credit.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team. Sacktown Sports.
Coach Doug Christie last night, and what amounted to a one-on-one interview with Kyle Draper.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else asked questions.
No, it was all me, and I kept going. I had more to get to, but I wanted to make sure everybody got their love, whether it was Valanciunas, Carter. I wanted to hit on every topic about last night.
Yeah. You get pretty excited, too, after a game like that? Almost like
100%.
Not quite, but almost like you played?
Yeah, a little bit, especially because, the proximity. We were right there last night, first row. Conversely, Whitey, I get down and in the dumps when we lose to Washington the way we did, or Orlando getting blown out by them by 30. Yeah, it does have an effect.
All right, what was your trivia question? I have the answer here, but I did not look anything up.
Because you talked about that second half, the fight, the energy, the defense, and everything like that. I said, who played the second most minutes in the second half for the Sacramento Kings? Any guesses?
Just because when I did look at it earlier before you asked that, I saw that this guy, I think, played a lot of minutes. Was it Keon?
No, Keon actually played 18 minutes. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Keon was fourth in minutes.
Okay. This is a second half, you said?
Second half only, because we're just talking about second half when the Kings outscored them 65-45.
I don't know. Who do we got?
#1, Zack Lavine. Number 3, DeMar DeRozan. Number 2, Trey Lyles.
Wow.
21 minutes and 47 seconds. How about Trey?
Mhm.
40 minutes against Cleveland, 38 last night against Detroit. That's shocking, right?
Yeah,
Trey was out there a lot. And so I got to give him his flowers. You know, you outscore a team by 20 in the second half. Trey Lyles was a huge part of that.
Yeah, and they're playing so well. So when Keegan's ready to go, back injury with him, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you
back soreness. Yeah.
Got to start again, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, because he's still your best defender, right?
Mhm.
You know, you got to start him. The question is, because Trey Lyles, when I look at Trey, and I thought he came out, you know, aggressive early on in that game, Trey Lyles took 8 shots. Here's the difference. If Keegan Murray had Trey Lyles' stat line, people would be like, oh, what's up with Keegan? Come on, 7 points, 3 of 8. But because it's Trey Lyles and he played 38 minutes, he gave him some good minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Keegan can, you know, no. We would need more from Keegan in that role, right?
Whose shot did he block last night, too?
Right at the top.
Hardaway?
Yeah, it was somebody, going to the
nice
basket there.
block.
It was a nice block, yeah. No, Trey's that dog, man. I like what Trey, he might be the type, too. He's more valuable the more minutes you play him. And I you know, that may sound cliche and everything, but if he's only getting 4 minutes in the first half, 5 in the second, it's hard to have an impact. Like he, you know, got a lather going up out there and played pretty well, I thought, last night.
We have some sound here from Josh Kroenke. Josh Kroenke is, what is his official title with the, you know, all the Kroenkes are involved one way or the other with the Nuggets.
What is it? Senior VP or chairman or something like that?
Let's see. Not that it's that important, but he is the vice chairman of Kroenke Sports and Entertainment.
There you go.
So here's what he had to say this afternoon, moments ago, about the firing of Michael Malone and the dismissal of the GM. First of all, he says this is not a decision that he and Nuggets management takes lightly.
You know, this wasn't a decision that was taken lightly or taken as in a reactionary fashion to anything specific. Having observed our group over a very long period of time, you know, what I would say is that, you know, having observed that group over a period of time, there were certain trends that were very worrisome to me at different points in time. But they would get masked by a few wins here and there. And, you know, in the world of professional sports, when winning and losing is your currency, you know, winning can mask a lot of things. We went on an eight game win streak right before the All-Star break. You know, but since then, I think we're 11-13. We've lost our last 4, and we're trending towards a direction that I thought would probably be a very, you know, near end to our a very near end to our season in the near future. And so all that taken into consideration, wanted to try to figure out a way to potentially squeeze as much juice out of the rest of the season as possible. And I think that, you know, after talking with my father in recent days, we came to the decision that we were going to be changing these roles at the end of the season. And that, you know, with that thinking in our mind that we know that we're going to be changing these roles at the end of the season, then your mind then turns to, well, what is the best decision for this group right now? And, you know, from that point forward, I think that, you know, I became comfortable with the thinking of, you know, let's try to shake this tree and squeeze as much out of this as we can. And that's where we arrived at with the decisions today.
That's Josh Kroenke this afternoon. That is just bizarre reasoning, isn't it? That, we're better off before the playoffs start getting rid of the coach now. And maybe the new guy can find a way to improve the team.
Right. And I can't imagine the new guy, you know, Adam, is going to, you know, completely scrap things. And if he does, won't that take you some time to get it, you know, going and hitting your stride? It just doesn't make sense here. You know, they got 3 games left to go in the season. It just, and I understand they've been reeling 3-7 over their last 10 games, but Michael Malone is a good coach. As much as I talk mess about him and everything like that, he's a damn good coach, man.
Yes, I agree. How about this? And again, I'm grabbing at straws here. Maybe Denver, if they had already decided, as Josh Kroenke said there, we'd already decided we're going to change some rules. Maybe they're thinking, look, the last thing we want to happen is for them to win a series or something, and then we fire them, and then everyone gets upset. Things are falling apart now. Fire him now. This is our out.
Man. Oh, that would be horrible, Whitey. We don't want him to be successful because then we can't fire him.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought you want a guy to be like, yeah, I mentioned it, Hubie Brown was fired 40 plus years ago this late into the season. It just doesn't happen. And mind you, the year Mike Brown won Coach of the Year, the Nuggets won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the Coach of the Year and the NBA Finals champion head coach fired 2 years later. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Josh Greinke says, we're trying to find a spark with Rick Adelman's son at the helm.
Yeah, hopes of a spark. I think that there's more to that group than has been accomplished so far. How much more is in that group? I don't think that, I know the answer to that. I don't think anyone knows the answer to that. But I think I have a belief that there's more in that group that can be accomplished. And I look forward to seeing what they can do.
I think this had already ended in Denver. And I know a lot of people are going to probably think this is unfair, but I thought when they brought in Russ, and he's done some good things. He had some strange games of late.
Yeah.
He's done some really good things for them. But to me, that smacked of desperation. It's like, wow, they're really looking for something. This is obviously before the season started. And I think overall, we'd have to say it's worked for them.
Yeah.
But to me, it's an indication that they were already feeling like, ooh, this thing might be coming to an end. That's just my read.
Maybe. And that goes to the Calvin Booth situation.
Yeah.
Look at some of the moves they've made. Russ was, flamed out with the Lakers, Clippers. He was okay. And it didn't seem like it would be a good fit in Denver. A lot of people were scratching their heads. But, and I was listening to Sirius XM NBA radio on the drive in, and they were talking about, look at all the Western Conference contenders, Whitey. When you look at OKC, adding Hartenstein, adding Caruso, we know with Houston, Lakers adding Luka Doncic, Golden State, Jimmy Butler. Like, what have the Nuggets done? Who have they added over the last couple of years that's actually a difference maker? Nobody really.
Yeah, they've added a lot of young guys and just hoped. Like Christian Brown has been a huge player for them,
good,
right?
Yeah.
And that's just, it overplayed some rookies. They've also made some draft picks that haven't panned out. So Josh Greinke, once again, on the new coach of the Denver Nuggets, David Adelman.
David Adelman will be moving into the head coaching role for the interim, and have a lot of confidence in him. I think that the decision, outside of the decision, there was thinking around two separate things, involving with the timing of it all. I think that, the awkwardness of the timing with only 3 games left and then the playoffs looming. But, it came down to 2 factors, and those 2 factors were side by side in my thinking, which is, one, I have a complete belief and trust in our group of players that are in there. And I have complete trust and belief in our assistant coaches and their ability to step up into different roles. And maybe if their voices are a little louder in certain areas, maybe they can squeeze some of that juice that I've been talking about.
Squeezing the juice. I don't know, Drapes. By the way, is this true? Their update from Ramsey?
Yeah, I haven't. Did you
check your text, man?
You ain't send me no text.
You guys are tied in.
I ain't see no text from you, Jay.
Sure.
Unless you sent it to just Whitey by yourself, big fella.
I sent it to you.
I don't see one myself.
Exactly, man. You got that iPhone 2E, or whatever it is, bro. You got to update.
You sure? Let me see.
All right, here, Shams. The Sacramento Kings are signing guard Terrence Davis to a deal. Sources tell ESPN. Davis, who played parts of 3 years in Sac, averaged 14.3 points in the G League with the Wisconsin Herd. That's from Shams Charania. Just came out about 4 minutes ago.
Terrence Davis, that's your guy.
That is my guy. People have been clamoring for TD for a while, too.
Yes.
Wow, that's huge, actually. But
Things are popping today.
But you know that this worries me, though.
Oh, because you think it might be Malik related.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything, no inside info, but if you bring in Terrence Davis, where is he playing if Malik is healthy? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I expect some Malik news to come out here over the next, 12 to 24 hours.
Yep.
Interesting, right?
Yes, Detective Draper may have hit the nail on the head. We'll see if we can't find any more clues. Things are just percolating today. When we come back, more on the Kings and one puzzle the Kings have not been able to solve this season. Next, Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Rocks Tech, Michelob Ultra, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPFest.com.
You know the old early bird and worm thing? Well, here's an early bird special and Bonnie's lowest price of the year. Imagine an entire new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as, ready? $11,789. Take advantage of that. $11,789. Hurry though, this is a limited offer and ends April 15th. The sooner you act, the sooner you save. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
And now a brief history of the garage door. Garage doors could date back to 450 BC when chariots were stored in gatehouses. Here in the States, they became a thing around the start of the 20th century. You could find a float-over door in a catalog way back in 1906. National Garage Door has been around since 1974. They're family-owned and operated, so you can trust them to solve any garage door issues you may have. Squeaky door, malfunctioning door, or a need for a new door, which is what prompted us to give them a call, 916-638-4554. At National Garage Door, service is their number one priority. I've witnessed that commitment in my own home, certainly in our garage. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They are the nation's BSE broken spring experts. So if you have a garage door that looks and sounds like it dates back to 450 BC, National Garage Door can help. Whether it's a garage door tune-up, repair, or replacement you need, they'll take care of you at National Garage Door. 916-638-4554. That's 916-638-4554. National Garage Door.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Drive Guys here, Kyle Draper back in town. See, you've been back east for a while now, right?
Yeah, man. I I'm tired, man. So which is crazy. The schedule was this: Friday, fly to Orlando, do the Magic game, fly back here, do pre and post Monday for the Pacers game. Tuesday, fly to DC. So I've been on the East Coast since Tuesday. Really been out here a day and a half over the last 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Really, my body clock is like 6:30 right now. So I should punch out, clock out, if you will. You know what I mean? It's quitting time out
Street
here.
clothes is back.
Street clothes. I love it, man. That's awesome.
People are excited about the Terrence Davis news, but we have to wait and see if there's another Nike to fall, if that's an indication that something may be up with another Kings player who might not be able to play much, if at all, going forward. But we don't know. We'll fingers crossed. If that's not the case.
I don't want to speculate too much, but
it would make
do
sense.
It now? It would make sense, right? Exactly. Unlike the 209, and not dissing you 209. Somebody said maybe they signed Terrence Davis because Devin Carter and Isaac Jones are going to help Stockton try to win a championship. Just throwing it out there. You never know, or at least one of them. Game 1 is tonight at 5 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm excited, fellas.
Jay's got Stockton Kings fever.
I'm thinking about sliding out Friday, man. I'm thinking about
work
it.
Friday, right?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
You be able to make it in time?
Oh, no. I don't know if I can announce this. We're actually supposed to be doing something Friday differently than me in the studio.
I think, right? Should we announce it?
Well, I don't know if we can. I probably need to ask the boss man, but
we'll check.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We'll be off 5:30. It takes me an hour to get out there. Tops,
just
traffic.
But you're the commissioner of the City of Trees.
Absolutely.
We got NBA basketball in town.
You're the vice.
Kings fighting for a play-in spot.
Yep.
And we've got the A's are in town hosting the Mets.
162 games, dear champ.
One of the biggest Friday nights in Sacramento sports history.
Is it?
And Jay's headed to Stockton.
He's a man of the people. He's a man of the people.
Yeah.
He's not all about the big events, the biggest of events. He'll go to this. I mean, and you could argue this G League championship game, first ever for the Stockton Kings.
Have either of you been to a G League championship game?
Man. So
have either of you games been to a baseball game, pro baseball game?
Major League?
Yeah, MLB.
Yeah.
Come on, all right.
Come on.
In a AAA ballpark. Have either of you guys seen a Kings game?
Of course. Come on,
a Kings Clippers game.
Couple of them.
Yeah. Well, which one on that list haven't you checked off yet?
That's true. I get it, man. I get it.
Speaking of the Major League games at the minor league parks, yesterday I was at the game with my daughter Lonnie, and we're watching the game, and I took a picture of the seats, which I was surprised how empty they were. They had 9,000, whatever. And I tweeted something about how the A's don't want to be Sacramento's team, and Sacramento saying your wish is granted. And it blew up. And as you can imagine, there's people going every which way on it. It's such a volatile.
You went viral with that one.
People are coming in every which way with every possible take. And it's like, all I'm saying is Sacramento saying we're not going to bail you out of this mess. But it's a hot button issue right now.
When you took that video, was it before the game?
It was, which is why it was before the game. That's why I started with a shot of the clock.
Right.
It was just coming up on 7, and then I panned down and showed
first pitch. What, 7:10, 7:08?
Yeah.
Something
and then
like that?
so some people were like, "Oh, well, you took it before the game started." So someone said, "How about an update?" So in the 4th inning, I took another one, and there was still a lot of empty seats.
So they announced 9,000 and change. Does it have to be a sellout for it to be a success? Like, there's this narrative out there on social media. People are saying, "Oh, see, they can't even sell out." Like 9,000, it's not Yankee Stadium or anything like that. But is that something to be embarrassed about or not? I'm just asking.
I don't think it's something to be embarrassed about. I know some people are looking at it going, "Wow, this was Sacramento's chance to show they would support the team," and they're really not doing that. To me, it's an indication that Sacramento fans are going, "This isn't our mess. This is not ideal. You made this mess, baseball and John Fisher. We're not bailing you out."
Yeah.
But, some people look at it, "Oh, this is Sacramento's opportunity. They're not stepping up." And I don't see it that way at all.
It's more of an indictment on the team and the situation than actual baseball in Sacramento. Yeah, I agree because, there are a lot of A's fans out here, and even they feel a certain type of way supporting, going out there. And I agree with you. And that's what frustrates me about this whole thing, Whitey. And this isn't, about you, but you throw it out there and then people from both sides are like going at it now.
You got Vegas people too.
Vegas.
Really?
You like, damn, right? Dude, I thought you had like 830 something thousand views on that, dude. That thing went viral, bro.
Yes.
That thing went viral. And did you guys see DA Damon Amendolara? I think I tweeted that out.
Yeah,
to
well,
you
I just
guys.
saw what you
He went off on it. He went off about the baseball in Sacramento. Empty seats, makeshift media sheds, amateur everything. Why did Manfred and the MLB owners rush the A's to Sacramento and not even ask for a relocation fee? This whole thing stinks.
Yeah.
Again, let me ask you this, Whitey. Does it actually stink from a fan perspective, game day experience? Like, did you feel like it was kind of, this ain't Major League? Like, how'd you feel watching it?
It's just odd. And, you know, Sacramento baseball fans are very sophisticated because we've been to, you know, San Francisco games and Oakland games. So we know what the Major League experience is like, and this isn't it. And there are some things that are kind of like, you know, halfway done. And I don't blame, I think the people that are in charge of putting this together have a nearly impossible job. But I'll give you an example. Last night, now here's, and I forget her name, here's so-and-so to sing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Damn.
Nothing. And she's like,
Is she
so
singing
then-
it or is she?
Yes. So then someone comes out, gives her a different microphone. She's got it.
Nothing? Oh.
So they just start playing a recorded version with no lyrics of the Star Spangled Banner.
What was the crowd reaction to that?
It was,
Was
yeah,
it still
people weren't
patriotic
happy.
or
Yeah.
was there like boo?
And then
or-
in the, I don't know if it was the second inning, whatever, they go to, and I don't know the guy's name. He was like your in-game host, and he's out in the.
Wasn't Alan Stiles last
It was
night?
not. He does a river cat.
Oh, he does river
Yeah.
cat.
Which
So
is
they
a
go-
quote. We need to talk about that from the joint too. I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
some
yeah.
things about that too.
So the guy, they show the guy on the big video board, and he's got his microphone, and he's like, and we didn't see him the rest of the night. So I just
Where's RJ when you need him?
right?
Isn't that RJ in the truck?
I don't know. But we know some of the people that are in charge of putting this together. We know they're very good at what they do, which is why I think this is just like a nearly impossible job. And it's a minor league park.
And are they working out some of the, you know, early issues and
I hope
everything
so.
like that?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like you said, it's the infrastructure isn't there, you know, to handle something like that.
It wasn't unpleasant at all. It just wasn't major league. We had a really nice time, and it was a good game. We saw 4 home runs.
Okay.
But you know, it's like Tatis hits one into the night in left field. It's like, how far did that go? I don't know how you can tell because you don't know, you can't see where it lands. And they told him it was 404, and he says, it's cat.
He thought it was more than that,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
Well, do you think whatever happens this season and going forward, can we get an accurate gauge of whether or not Sacramento would support Major League Baseball? Or no matter what happens, it's an uphill climb. Like, we shouldn't look at what happens with the A's as an indication Sacramento's a baseball city.
I don't think it's fair to do that. I mean, if they sell out every game from here on out, maybe. And I know some people will choose to look at it. It gives baseball an out. If attendance doesn't go up, baseball can say, yeah, they're just not ready. But the gentleman that actually got me the tickets last night and has bought season tickets, he says the tickets are extremely high priced. It's hard for people to spend that much money to go out. That should be looked at too, he says. And yes, big, very competitive major league prices when you're playing in a stadium that's not a major league stadium. And some fans are like, yeah, I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah,
I don't think that reflects poorly on Sacramento's desire to have a major league team. It's just an economic reality.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I agree. I'm on the website right now. You know, they got the 2 for $25 sale going on and everything like that.
Prices
Which
are
is a
coming
slap
down.
in the face to the people
who already purchased.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Like, I just literally just said that today. You know, I haven't been to a game, and I'm like, 2 for $25, I'll jump on it. I'm gonna do that. You know, check a couple of the games out since I have an opportunity. But for people who have already spent the $100 and some prior to the season for a seat, it's like, come on now.
Yep.
Are you going to offer those people, you know, a refund? Absolutely not.
I'm guessing not. Yeah.
So that's tough too, man. That's tough.
And it was Jay. It was a Padre home game last night.
I could believe that. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think there's always going to be close to 10,000, because this is the first time you get to see the Yankees, the Mets, those type of teams, the Cubs who've already come through here already, the Red Sox, those like that. And you don't have to go as far as the Bay. You can go right around the corner, especially on a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, a Thursday night, like tonight. It's like, oh, okay, wife is off. My daughter doesn't really have to go to track practice. We're done. 6:30. Man, I have a little opportunity. Sunlight's still going a couple of hours.
Really nice at the park last night.
Why not go that way?
Really nice. Yeah, very nice weather.
Yeah, I know Jay's going to a game coming up. I got to get to it. I'm looking at the schedule now. I'm going to buy some tickets. I want to see it for myself.
At 2 for $25, baby. Jump on it.
Is that what you jumped on, Jay?
Yes,
2
sir.
for $25, that White Sox game?
Well, they give you 5 or 6 games to choose from.
Yeah, you got the Rangers.
No, these are left field, right field line, basically normal seats.
Yeah.
The only thing, and hold on, before I lie to you, I should go back to it real quick. But they are, I want to say, third base, first base, the base itself, and on out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like right behind the plate. Yeah, you're not in the line seats. No, I mean they're the normal seats of the ballpark.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
I might go out there the 25th with you, Jay.
Let's do it, because one of them is a Friday.
Yeah, that's
the White Sox game, and then the other 4, 5, 6 options are Monday, Wednesday game, Tuesday, Thursday game, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you might be out there tonight.
That'd be a negative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, in theory, post King season, however long that happens, now that the weather is better, we walk out of here at a certain time and we still have sunlight. If you're looking for something to do, and if I'm only spending technically $15 with taxes and fees, then why not? What else am I going to do for $15? Yeah, nothing.
Speaking of home field advantage or home court advantage, that was one thing the Kings were not able to figure out this year. That's next with the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Seasonably cool Wednesday morning with valley temperatures in the upper 40s, but it will be much warmer in the afternoon. Highs in the low to even mid-80s with plenty of sun. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Ready for an early bird special? A new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as $11,789. This is a limited offer and ends April 15th. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again, because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT at the Maida Chevy Silverado Super Center after all rebates. And Maida Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area with $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Super Center. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
5 savings was trade in 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Maida.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Have you ever dreamed of shopping for the perfect jewelry from home?
Well, now it's possible, and you can even build your credit. PrestigiaJewelers.com now offers online shopping, making us the premium credit jeweler nationwide. With an exceptional selection of fine jewelry, from engagement rings and gold chains to sparkling diamond earrings and much more. With over 30 years of experience, Prestigio guarantees you'll find exactly what you're looking for. It's fast and easy. Once approved, you'll receive a guaranteed credit line from $400 to $10,000. All you need is to be 18 years or older, have a valid form of ID, be employed for a minimum of 6 months, and a bank account for automatic payments. PrestigiaJewelers.com is the perfect way to establish or reestablish your credit, with interest rates at only 2.25% per month. We are here to help you with monthly reporting to all major credit bureaus. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. Visit us online at PrestigiaJewelers.com or at one of our locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Enter code SACTOWNSPORTS at checkout to save 10%.
Are you ready to unlock your business's potential? Hey, I'm Alan Stiles, and you can do that with Roxas Technology Solutions. Their mission is to empower growth through cutting-edge, reliable, and scalable technology. They tailor solutions to enhance efficiency and foster innovation, ensuring your business thrives in the digital age. Located in Sacramento, their dedicated team is ready to partner with you for your long-term success. Transform your business now. Go to roxtech.com. That's WROXTECH.com. Rox Tech. Tomorrow's technology at your fingertips today.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
There's a lot of Kings fans that have been at least 1 foot off the bandwagon last few weeks, Drapes. You know that. A lot of Kings fans. A lot of, as we pointed out, a lot of them are rational, right-thinking Kings fans. But for weeks, it's been, with many, it's been, they're better off not even getting in the playoffs. Now I hope that's changing a little bit because they're playing so much better the last 3 games. One thing we do know about this year, there's a lot still we don't know. There's a lot we will perhaps never know. We do know that this is another year where the Kings have not been able to take full advantage of home court advantage.
Dude, that is one of the biggest mysteries.
Yes.
Because I got it, and I know you got the numbers. What's their home record, Whitey? You got it right there?
What are they? 19 and 19. Yeah.
Yep, 19 and 19.
Their road record is 7th best in the West, 2021. That's not great, but it's 7th best. Their home record is 12th in the West.
I know for a fact, 100% certainty that there are some in the organization who are very much aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And they understand that the possibility of hosting a home playoff game, a play-in game, they're going to have to bring it. Like the road, I'm not worried about this team on the road. We just saw it, Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's the home games. Like tomorrow night against a reeling Denver team. The crowd is going to be amped. They're going to be fired up. This team has won 3 in a row. Give the fans something to cheer about tomorrow, Sacramento Kings. And I'm looking at the home record, Whitey. Outside of the Lakers, not even the Lakers. Like our home record is the worst in the league, the Western Conference, besides San Antonio, New Orleans, and Utah.
Yeah, it's 12th. 12th in the West.
Yeah, 12th in the West.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and you go back to Beam Team 1, and one of the things we said in the wake of that season was, 25 and 16 at home, they could do better than that. Remember, I remember talking to Jordy with that. We were at the arena one day. So then last year, they go from 25 and 16 to 24 and 17. So actually took a step back. And then this year, obviously a lot of changes. But even with all the changes and all the turmoil, 19 and 19, this team is capable of doing better than that at home.
And they're 7th best on the road.
Yeah.
So think about that. Even if you're 23 and 15 at home, what does that do for you in the state? You know what I mean? That's probably like that 5-game losing streak at home. That was a killer. That was a chance to really make up some ground and turn things around. And with 3 games left to go at home, at worst, we got to go 2-1 way.
Mm-hmm.
At worst, we got to go 2-1.
Yeah, and I don't say that to say, it's a disaster. People should be fired. I bring it up because, as you said, Drapes, it is a mystery.
Yeah,
it is
really
mind-boggling. 3 years in a row of the Kings underperforming at home. The Kings of all teams.
And I think it was Deuce who put something on social media. I'm not sure if it was Deuce or somebody else, but they were talking about opponents' 3-point shooting at Golden One Center. Our team gives up the highest 3-point percentage of an opponent at home versus anybody else.
There you go.
League.
Yeah.
And I think second was like Charlotte or something like that. Like, what is it about our home arena where teams come in and just shoot 39%, lights out? That's something. And conversely, how come we aren't hitting those shots? Like, our shooting at home isn't great. It's one of the most unexplainable things out there. And I will say this, and give Doug some credit. They used to have shoot around over at the practice facility. Now they do it on the home floor usually because Doug wants, you shoot around, morning shoot around on the gym you're playing in. But that still hasn't helped them out, which is shocking.
Will they have a home playing game? It looks like it right now, right?
Like it, yeah.
Yeah, they're 39-40, Dallas 38-41, and the Suns are just hanging on 35-43. So remember, Dallas can't, and the Kings, there is no tie. If they have the same record, the Kings win. So Dallas has to be they have to be a win better than the Kings. They can't tie them. It does them no good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Kings are very close to clinching, even though it's a 1-game advantage over Dallas, but they're very close.
But really, like 2, right?
Exactly.
You got the
yes, yeah.
And 3 games left to go. Dallas has the Lakers, and they have Memphis
and Toronto. I think
Toronto.
Yeah.
But Lakers and Memphis are still playing for something too.
Yeah.
The Kings, Phoenix may be done come Sunday.
Right.
So the Kings do have the inside track on that 9 seed.
Yeah. So right now it looks like home playing game, and then if you win that, then you play the loser of the 7-8, which right now would be the loser of the Timberwolves Grizzlies. And that thing is just chaos right now with you got 2 games separating the Lakers 3rd from the Grizzlies at 8th.
Yeah, and you got 5 teams tied in the loss column.
Yeah.
You got Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, Timberwolves, and Grizzlies all with 32 losses.
4 teams are 46-32.
Right. Dude, I've never seen it like this. This is tremendous.
So the Nuggets, they've solved it. Well, we'll fire our coach.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
And Jamal Murray may not play tomorrow either. We'll see if he plays. But here's the thing, man. Whether it's the Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, you're going to have to go through one of the game's best players if you're the Sacramento Kings. You're going to have to go through an all-star. Memphis, Ja and Triple J, Minnesota, Ant-Man, Golden State, Butler, and Curry. Like, it's going to be tough no matter who you have to
earn
face.
it. You're going to get the playoffs. You're going to earn that spot.
Earn it. And then you get a date with OKC.
Yeah. And, one of the things that we've talked about is, hey, it'd be really nice if the Kings could finish with a winning record. Well, they have to win out to end up 42-40.
Yeah. Guess what, though? And I was thinking about this earlier, Whitey. Last year, the Kings were in 9th place with 46 wins. This year, they'll be in 9th place with 40 wins, 41 wins, something like that. It's crazy how a year can change things so much. And then you look at it also, like the Lakers, they're at 48-30 right now, 3rd. Last year, that would have been 6th, 7th in the Western Conference. But I would say the conference is stronger this year than it was last year.
Or at least more balanced.
Yeah, more balanced. I would say, like you said, more balanced. Like the bottom guys are clearly the bottom, but that, 1 through 12, 1 through 11 is really tight.
Phoenix could be the most disappointing team in the history of the NBA with the payroll.
Dude, the Brooklyn Nets of KD, Harden, and Kyrie said, hold my beer. Isn't it interesting, though, that KD's been a part of 2 of them? And I agree with you.
Yeah.
Phoenix is that payroll, that star power, those names. You fire a coach, you bring it. Budenholzer might be done after 1 year, too.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he's not.
Is that a KD problem, you think?
No.
But he's going to take a bad rap for that, I feel like.
Yeah, I know they went through long stretches where their defense was miserable, and Bradley Beal not been a good fit. And I guess Katie and Buden, I don't know what happened, Drapes. I know they went for a stretch. They were terrible defensively. And right now, it looked like they turned things around because I think they won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And for the Kings, it was like, oh, watch out. Who's coming at your heels? And then they've lost 6 in a row.
I didn't even know they lost 6 in a row, Whitey. I just saw it too. Because they beat Cleveland. They beat Milwaukee. It looked like you said, since then, they've lost 6, and KD's been out. He's been banged up. We understand that. But for this team, not even to make the play-in at that payroll, Matt Ishbia, he ain't buy the team and make all these changes and spend all this money to be out of the playoffs. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, I'm glad the Kings probably won't have to play them.
Yes.
One and done, right? That team. When we come back, who or what has unleashed Zack Lavine next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneaker peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. All right, I know what you're thinking. Here we go again, another Drapes commercial for his guys and girls down there at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. But trust me, listen to this. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they'll take care of you. Trust me, they got certified pre-owned vehicles starting at 3.49 APR on select 2021, 22, and 23 models. And take it from me, when you go to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you leave out feeling like you're valued, like they trust you, like they care for you. Matter of fact, it's like they're your family. That's right. So for over 30 years, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has been there for the entire community. And get this, it's not that far away, guys. Just a short drive down I-5, or of course, online anytime at mbfstockton.com. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and tell them Drape sent you.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Rocks Tech, Michelob Ultra, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPFest.com.
You know the old early bird and worm thing? Well, here's an early bird special and Bonnie's lowest price of the year. Imagine an entire new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as, ready, $11,789. Take advantage of that, $11,789. Hurry though, this is a limited offer and ends April 15th. The sooner you act, the sooner you save. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
49ers are on the clock. Don't miss Sacktown Sports coverage of the upcoming draft. Brought to you by Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge. No one covers pro football like Sacktown Sports, and there's no place better to enjoy it than with over 80 screens at Twin Peaks. And their ice-chilled 29-degree drafts at the 5 p.m. happy hour kickoff.
Sacramento Kings basketball.
To the hoop, to
two-hand throwdown by Keegan Murray.
The run to the playoffs.
Over-the-shoulder passes a super room service setup for Domantas Sabonis.
On Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We have some good news for Kings fans, but it may be an indication that bad news is coming. We don't know. Terrence Davis rejoining the Kings. I'm not saying that's turning their season around or anything, but that's nice. I mean, he's pretty popular here. People always have an affinity for former Kings. Looks like TD is coming back. But that might be an indication that somebody else currently on the roster will not be able to play. Again, that's Kyle Draper, theorizing that. We don't know anything for certain yet. So we're hoping that that's not why Terrence Davis has been signed.
Turn on my mic here. Yeah, waiting to hear from the organization. Obviously they'll put out a press release regarding Malik Monk, his left calf injury that he suffered yesterday. But I just don't see why you assign a TD this late in the season here, unless you need some reinforcements here these last 3 games.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know you were there. Obviously, you called the game. Did you see anything one way or the other on Malik that led you to believe, you don't want to obviously diagnose the guy based on what you see when he's playing, but
I will say this. I didn't see the injury. I didn't see, but I will say it seemed like Malik was in good spirits after the game, talking a little trash to the Pistons and everything. And so it didn't seem like a guy who, just found out some horrific news or anything like that.
Okay.
He seemed to be in good spirits.
Yeah, the Kings signing Terrence Davis. Of course, he played parts of 3 seasons in Sacramento from 2021 through 23, averaging 14.3 points in the G League for Wisconsin this year, 40.2% three-point shooting. And by the way, it is official now. If you get a chance to join us Friday at Tom's Watch Bar.
Get out of here. We official?
We would love to see you out
official?
there. I wasn't out there last time because I had the creeping crud. But I know you guys.
You missed out, bro.
That's what I understand.
You missed out. Hey, it's going to be like Detroit Pistons media dining for me at Tom's Watch.
Okay.
I'm not going to eat breakfast. I'm not going to eat lunch. I'm telling you, those mott sticks and those wings were banging. So we'll be out there, 2 to 5:30?
That's the plan.
Yep, that is the plan. Yeah,
got a movement over there.
Yeah, come on out, holla at your boy Jay. You gonna slide through or what?
Yeah, I got word. I'll be in attendance.
Okay, Jay out there also. All right, big fella. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Chicken
man.
sandwich or something. I'm probably going something different this time.
Nah, you let your chicken sandwich sit too long, big fella.
Well, it got
cold.
Somebody took a day off, so I had to fill in for it.
I know you had to set up and everything, and then fill in. So
I tell you, I made a mistake last night at the A's game that was on me.
Yeah.
Speaking of food, I wanted to get something to eat, and I thought I'll get a pizza. So I have the pizza place, and I forget the name of it. I'm sorry, but I figure, that I'll get they'll have a slice, or they'll have individual, like personal pizzas. It was a big pizza I got. I had to take half of it home.
What?
It was.
Thank goodness you didn't bring that glove.
Yeah.
What?
It was a very significant.
You ordered a whole pie, or was it just?
Yeah, I just thought, give me a pepperoni because that's what they had.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. I guess it's for sharing because it's 4. It was like deep dish, huge.
Daughter
slices.
didn't want any.
I pounded down 2.
Oh, it was deep dish.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I thought it was very good.
Damn, I may have to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
My guy Marcus, who runs First Code T-shirts, shout out to him. He's going out there tonight. I want to hear about the food out there. Your pizza was good.
It was very good. It really was.
I may have to try that out.
Yes. You know who else was good last night? Zack Lavine. What's going on with Zack Lavine all of a sudden? Last 2 games, Drapes. What do you have, 37 and 43?
Whitey, there ain't nothing going on. This is who Zack Lavine is, big fella.
37 and 43. Come on now.
Yeah, he's on the heater, man. He's on the tear. I think the Kings are finding ways finally to use Zack Lavine. And some of it's on Zach. He's not being hesitant. He's not being timid. He's not deferring out there. But watch tomorrow when they play, Whitey. I feel like, and I think I said this yesterday or last week, Zach is operating more in the middle of the floor. He's not in the corner as much. Remember when he first got here, that was one of the complaints. He's just standing in the corner. I don't see that anymore. They're actually running actions for Zack Lavine to get open now. This is some of the things we talked about. This free-flowing offense, equal opportunity, that doesn't fit well with Zach. When you got a stud offensive player, you got to make sure, and Doug's doing this as a coach, he's getting the ball in his hands. And I feel like they're doing a better job of that, making sure they're calling things to get Zach going.
Yeah, and he's up to what? I think he's up to 44% now for the year on threes.
Yeah, he went down, and now he's climbing back up after these last few games.
Yeah, which is, even by today's, inflated standards, that's incredible. 7 for 11 and 8 for 11 over the last 2 games. And he, as I said earlier, he's single-handedly keeping the Kings afloat from the three-point line, because last night he was 8 for 11. Everybody else was, 2 for 17 or something like that.
How about this, Whitey? According to my stats.
Yeah.
And I'm just on ESPN right now. Zack Lavine is leading the league in three-point percentage.
Yeah, I saw that today. How about that?
44.5.
He's a dog, man.
And who's fourth?
Keon
Ellis.
He's a dog.
How can we have 2 of the top 4 and not be a great three-point shooting team?
Well, because like I said, last night, other than Zack Lavine, the team was 3 for 16. Damn. Keon didn't make any last night, did he?
No, he was just
he was busy with other things.
Yeah. He was doing some other things.
And Doug McDermott would probably be on that list if he had taken more. His
more
percentage is also very high this year.
You're right. And maybe that's where Doug is talking about. I need Zach and Keegan to get up 10 threes a game, because when you're that efficient, and I think Keegan is much better too since January 1st in terms of his three-point shooting. Like, these guys got to get him up. And to me, Zach, I'm okay with Zach taking 20 shots a night. I don't care who it's against.
I'm not okay with him taking fewer.
Right?
Seriously, the way he's playing right now, it's like,
right. Yeah, you are so right about that. I'm with you on that, man. This guy, should be our number one offensive weapon, because DeMar is going to be DeMar no matter what. DeMar, one of those dudes, you got multiple kids, right, Whitey?
Mm-hmm.
There's certain kids that you got to be a little more hands-on with. Like growing up in the Draper household, my parents ain't have to do much with me. But my brother Ronald, my sister Nicole, they had to be a little more hands-on.
Because I'm a shoo-in for Hate of the Year.
But that's how DeMar is. We ain't got to worry about him. We ain't got to run stuff for DeMar DeRozan.
You know what a metronome is? It's like when you play piano or an instrument, it's a thing that you set and it just goes click.
Oh, yeah, that
click,
thing.
click, to keep you on time.
Yep.
That's what he is.
That's
like
what he is.
Click, 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 click.
100%, man. It's like, and here's the thing. Who DeMar is who he's always been. Like, he's doing exactly what he was brought here to do. Regarding Zach, and I was talking to Stacey King about this. He came on our show. Saw him a few weeks ago when they were in town. Like, Zach is elite, man. And I forget who I was talking to yesterday. It may have been on the air with Kyle out there in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
You build around Zach. Like, and I was talking to our guy, Vincent Goodwill, Vinny Goodwill of Yahoo. Great guy. We got next week, Jay. Vincent Goodwill said he'll come on.
He must. That's not my guy. He don't return my messages no more. No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What?
He might get a ban from the non-playing.
Yeah, we may have to prank call him and just cold call his butt up. He was talking major smack last night. But he was saying a team has never really been built for Zach's strengths. Even in Chicago, they didn't build it. And so I would like the Kings going forward, whatever moves they make this offseason, to keep Zach in mind and what players fit around Zach. Domas DeMar.
Yeah, we have this in the chat show from Amadrock. Whitey, I was one of those who gave up on the Kings. I put my effort into the Stockton Kings. I am happy to be wrong. Well, I have to right now admit that I said something last week. I don't think you were here, Drapes.
Ooh.
And I would like to walk it back.
You taking it back?
I think I was wrong.
What you got?
I said last week, I said, you look at the Kings. This was after the Washington loss. I said, there's still a lot we don't know. But going forward, one thing I think we know is that DeMar DeRozan and Zack Lavine together, it doesn't work. I said that.
Ever since you said that.
Yes.
It's worked.
Yes.
They look great.
I know. Definitely. It's like, last night, DeMar DeRozan with a quiet 37, if that's even possible.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, but definitely the strides they've made over the last 3 games are eye-opening. And I think they've changed the thinking of a lot of people in a short time.
How about this? Let me throw this at you, Whitey. Because people talk about when those two were in Chicago and how they did have success when Lonzo was out there. But when you have a center like Domas, do you need a point guard like that anymore? Like, I look at when Malik was in the starting lineup, he's not a Lonzo Ball kind of point guard. He's a different type of point guard. But when you have Domas playing at a high level, playing better than Vucevic has played, can facilitate better, do you need a point guard
with these the same guys? Purpose? And then the other thing to me that's interesting about that is DeMar this year, the offense has a lot of times been running through him.
Yeah. I got to look at some of the usage numbers. And he's done a good job with that. Yeah, I'm going to look at some of the usage numbers right here as we talk about it, because I look at Sacramento and the thing that's sort of surprised me the most, and I talked a little bit about it, like DeMar's playmaking, he can be a really good playmaker when he wants to. Sometimes he gets into his ISO bag and, forces some shots, but his court vision is solid. It's not like he can't see the floor. And so I want to see more of DeMar, the playmaker here. And I'm going to pull up these usage numbers here coming up in a second, Whitey. But I would imagine DeMar is pretty high up there for Sacramento.
Yeah, I got a question about DeMar when you check those numbers. Yeah. And we'll come back with that big Kings win by the numbers. Some very interesting numbers in regards to last night's win. Next, Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason. Drive, guys. J2 on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah. Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know, when our old heater collapsed with a shudder, we needed a new one. We needed one in the worst way. There are just a lot of HVAC companies out there. So how do you choose? Maybe you want to make sure you're ready for the hot weather coming. A friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com. And I'm glad I listened to Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Ready to come out the day we called. They treated us with a lot of respect, from the person who answered the phone to the people who installed our new HVAC unit. So it comes down to this. Why choose Lee's? They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. They got 4.8 stars on Google. So, yeah, a lot of friends recommend them. They've won awards with their service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair and commercial HVAC services too. Find out more at leesair.com. Check on their mission statement, all about serving customers and community. And with the hot weather coming, check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and the air that we breathe. Lee's Air, Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Want internet with more speed and less frustration? Fidium Fiber Internet is better because it's built to deliver more bandwidth and speeds up to 2 gigs. Switch today and you can kiss buffering and weak Wi-Fi goodbye. Visit fidiumfiber.com.
To just not back down, stay with the physicality. We're not complaining to the referees. We know how they play, and we come here to win a ball game. They got going in the first half, and we hung around and hung in there, and just make sure that we came out in the second half and hit first. And I thought the guys, after scoring that many in the first half, you come out and you hold them to 45. They did a really, really solid job.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
The way the Kings came out in the second half, to my eye, Drapes, was the key to the game. That third quarter, let's see, and they ended up putting up 35 points in the third quarter. They outscored the Pistons 35-22. But the first 6 minutes or so of the quarter, to my eye, they played fine. They didn't play great. They weren't burying a lot of shots in a row or anything like that, but I know it sounds cliche, but they really played hard and competed. That's where I thought they started turning that game around.
No, you're right about it. I'm looking at some of the numbers here. It was 86-84 with 4:23 left to go. And so it was, I felt like the Pistons sort of had their way to start early in that third quarter, and then the Kings sort of battled back. A 7-point lead here with 9:30 for the Pistons, 8-point lead for the Pistons, 6:51 left to go, and then 7-point lead, 5:31, and then Devin Carter layup, Devin Carter 3-ball, Devin Carter another bucket. So he had 7 straight points that really brought the Kings back in and made it the 86-84 game. And so you talk about that energy and competing. I thought Devin Carter was a big part of that in that third quarter.
Well, it was essential because they had such a short bench. And Malik wasn't, he didn't come back. You basically had 7 guys that were playing for you last night.
Yeah.
Once Malik went out. And I know Isaac Jones played a little bit too.
No, you're right.
You needed that.
You needed it. And so I look at, that third quarter, to your point, I'm pulling it up right now, this box score here, just the third quarter only. Devin Carter played 6 minutes and 31 seconds, Whitey. He was a plus 11. How about this stat right here? Keon Ellis played 9 minutes and 53 seconds, 0 points, but was a plus 14.
Yeah. That's an unusual box score for him. That's an unusual
box score,
It doesn't
right?
do him justice.
Yeah, 0 points, but he has a plus 14. Like, him and Devin Carter out on the floor together, I thought they made some things happen out there.
Yeah, you never know when a team drafts somebody who actually is making the decision. Presumably it's the GM. My point is I just want to say it again. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he doesn't want to be here. I hope Monty's back next year. I really do. I
still believe that. Still,
I
after
feel
everything
that
happened these last week.
Yes. Again, I have no idea what will happen or what even he wants to do. I don't know, but I think he's done overall. I think he's done a very good job here. 3 years in a row of the team being competitive.
Right.
That's significant where I come from.
Right. And, second best era of Sacramento Kings basketball outside of the Adelman years. And so the question that you raised and that the topic you brought up, and the same thing can be said regarding Calvin Booth out there in Denver. If the owner is telling you to do something, I don't know if this is the fact or not, but Calvin Booth, if the owner is saying, we're not paying KCP, we're not paying Jeff Green or Bruce Brown or whoever it may be, what's a GM? The GM has to wear that. Yeah. Same thing with Monty, and who knows, what's happening behind the scenes. But if Monty is being told, like, they're the ones out front, they're the ones, the coach and the GMs, they're the ones who have to wear the success or the failure of the organization.
And they don't get to say, well, I know that player didn't work out, but
it wasn't my idea.
I didn't want to pick him.
Right, exactly.
Kings win by the numbers. How about this? 67 now. Domas, 67 is the number of games he's played in. But remember, he had 2 games where he didn't play 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So he now has reached the 65 games played minimum for award
he's good.
eligibility.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in now. And, the way he's playing, I think, we need to have that conversation again.
What do you think, All-NBA?
I think he's got a heck of a chance. Third team again. I mean, and I know he went through that period like, I don't know what happened. He's okay, but triple-double last night.
He gonna get screwed, Whitey. Stop it, big fella. Stop.
But I mean, he's made it.
I'm gonna just be a realist, and I understand they don't. Do they do positions for All NBA?
Don't believe they do.
I
anymore.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Let's just look at it. The rest of the league. You know, I'm looking at obviously the Joker will be one of the big men. You know, AD won't be there. Giannis will be there. Şengün might get some love. That's who I'm worried about. Houston's number 2 in the West, Whitey. You got like
Did you see that game against the Warriors?
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome, wasn't it? Your boy Draymond, man, that dude and Şengün was flopping around and everything. That was awesome. But I look at, do I think he should be? Yes, but I think lack of wins is going to hurt him.
Okay, but at least we know he's qualified now.
Yeah.
30 plus. Last night marked the second time this season the Kings have had 2 players score 30 or more in the same game. Both times it's been DeRozan and Lavine. They also did it in that forgettable loss to the Clippers on March 9th. But that's the second time this season. And last night, I think Katie mentioned this. Maybe you did. They almost had 2 guys scoring 40.
Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Like this, I mean, probably the most since Malik and De'Aaron went off. In that Clippers game a couple years ago, what 175, 173 or whatever it was, like to have 2 guys go off for nearly 40, that's impressive. That's really impressive.
213 is a number. Why does that matter? Zack Lavine has passed former Celtic Dave Cowens for 213th on the all-time NBA scoring list.
I saw that.
13,521. By the way, if you're just looking at Kings on this list, Zack Lavine is now 126 behind Peja for 209th place, and he's only 222 points behind Harrison Barnes for 207th.
HB is the 207th most points in NBA history?
How about that?
What? Harrison Barnes?
Yeah.
You sure we talking about the same Harrison Barnes, bro? You must have did some digging here. What?
I'll double check.
Yeah, double check that, man. I gotta look this.
Yeah,
HB's my guy, but dang, that's impressive.
Yeah, he's been playing a long time. And DeMar DeRozan, by the way, 33 points behind Reggie Miller, and if you include ABA, Rick Barry too, for 28th place all time.
Oh, including ABA.
Yeah,
he's about to be 25 though in the NBA, right?
He's Vince
26.
Carter's 25.
Is he? Nah, hold up, Whitey. Because I thought he just came in at 20. Yeah, you might be right. And
he's probably going to get there, but I don't know if he'll get there this year. So he's just 33 out of 28th place. And then
NBA and ABA.
Yeah.
Dude, you're like the only one that does that. Do that. Nobody care about the ABA.
Oh.
I know.
Come on.
Dr. J's my guy. That's why I think Dr. J is probably one of the most underrated players. No, I'm looking at NBA.
Okay.
DeMar DeRozan's 26th. Reggie Miller's 25.
Okay.
He's 33 behind Reggie.
So you're just doing the
yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No. You're right, because that's the number I was using for Zack Lavine. But that my ABA bias kind of snuck in there.
No, I get it. For
that.
Here's the thing,
207 NBA all-time scoring list with 13,743. Harrison Barnes, who's ahead of Jason Tatum.
And this is what?
Hold on. 207. There it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Out of all the great players, like, I'm looking at it. Harrison Barnes is going past Chuck Person, Andre Iguodala. I'm looking at Jerry Lucas, our guy Jerry Lucas.
Jerry Lucas, yeah.
Yep. Wow. This is an interesting list, man. When you get down to that, Thaddeus Young's on this list.
Yeah.
Jeff Green
and
is just 183.
And just to clarify, and thank you, Kyle, for clarifying for me, I mixed NBA, ABA, and NBA. If you just go NBA, right now you've got DeMar DeRozan, and he's 26th.
26, yeah.
Closing in on Reggie Miller for a top 25.
Yeah, and he's going past Reggie this year. Can he pass Alex English? Let me see. Nah, he can't pass Alex English. He's not going to pass Steph Curry. So at the end of the season, DeMar DeRozan will be a top 25 NBA scorer of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That's impressive.
By the way, Louis Dampier, number one on the. If you just go ABA, and I'm the only one that ever looked at that.
Louis Dampier.
Yeah.
Looking at
Along
my
with
boy,
friend of the show, Dan Issel, who's been on the show. Yeah.
How about Dr. J, Julius Irving, number 5 ABA, number 9 NBA ABA.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, I do feel like Doc should get more love when it comes to some of the greatest players. Dude, he's 9th all time in scoring.
Yeah.
In the history of basketball.
Mm-hmm. He was just before, he was kind of propping up pro basketball, him and Kareem, right before Magic and Bird came along, and they handed off to Michael, and from there things took off.
Yep. I wonder if Doc, all these ABA guys, if they played in the NBA, where would they be recognized, like for their careers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
As far as the big Kings win by the numbers, that is surprising about HB, isn't it?
Yeah, because you don't think of him as a scorer at all. But he had a couple of good years, especially in Dallas, 20 points per game, 18.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, he's that's impressive.
Now, as we've discussed, there are a number of people, maybe you're one of them, who have been wanting the Kings to tank. And the people who still want the Kings to tank, tell you how they might still get their wish this year. Next, Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Consolidated Communications.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Seasonably cool Wednesday morning with valley temperatures in the upper 40s, but it will be much warmer in the afternoon. Highs in the low to even mid-80s with plenty of sun. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
I love this time of year when the azaleas begin to bloom and the singing birds' sweet dawn chorus remind us that blue skies and sunshine are at hand. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. In sports, the definition for the word master is one who's achieved a high degree of skill, and that will be on display in the highly anticipated golf tournament. In the furniture business, a master is a highly skilled craftsman, an artist even, whose work is coveted by those who appreciate design, quality, and durability. John Keyes was the mastermind of Naturewood Home Furnishings. He knew that you wanted your home to reflect your personal style, whether that was a plain coffee table or a masterpiece for you to enjoy forever. That's why when you walk into Naturewood Home Furnishings, you'll find the largest and best selection of the highest quality home furnishings in Northern California. Masterful. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Have you ever dreamed of shopping for the perfect jewelry from home? Well, now it's possible, and you can even build your credit. PrestigiOJewelers.com now offers online shopping, making us the premium credit jeweler nationwide. With an exceptional selection of fine jewelry, from engagement rings and gold chains to sparkling diamond earrings and much more. With over 30 years of experience, Prestigio guarantees you'll find exactly what you're looking for. It's fast and easy. Once approved, you'll receive a guaranteed credit line from $400 to $10,000. All you need is to be 18 years or older, have a valid form of ID, be employed for a minimum of 6 months, and a bank account for automatic payments. PrestigiOJewelers.com is the perfect way to establish or reestablish your credit, with interest rates at only 2.25% per month. We are here to help you with monthly reporting to all major credit bureaus. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. Visit us online at PrestigiOJewelers.com or at one of our locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Enter code SACTOWNSPORTS at checkout to save 10%.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the best truck on the market, the 2025 Ram 1500. And that's not an exaggeration. It's proven. It's the 7th time Ram has won the Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Car and Driver named it one of its 10 best vehicles of 2025, giving it a 10 out of 10. And at J.D. Power, it's #1 when it comes to brand vehicle quality. And hey, yeah, all that's great. But where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really separates themselves from the pack is their car buying experience. Come on in and see for yourself why they say it's where a handshake still means something.
The
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
On the text line from the 916, possibly the Kings can run an offense like the Warriors, where there are multiple screens and pick and rolls where Zach will have more open looks. Speaking of the Warriors offense, they ran the elevator screen. That's something that we've talked about with Zack Lavine. I love the elevator screen. Drapes, the Warriors, I think it was the Houston game, they ran an elevator screen for Buddy on a baseline out of bounds.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was the coolest thing. You have 3 guys in a row, one of them's Buddy, and then he leaves and the other 2.
They closed that door up quickly. Right?
Elevator door.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Every time I see that kind of play, I'm like, I think of you. Like, you've been calling for that for years now, it seems like.
Somebody else coming after me on Monty.
Ooh,
and by the way, let me just mention the G-Man's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Has nothing to do with Monty. But yeah, G-Man's coming up here in about 10 minutes. Going to be talking
that's how it is in Sac.
Yeah, absolutely. But what do you think of this, Drapes? Somebody says Monty can't draft. Whitney is tripping.
Who the hell's Whitney? Oh,
I get that a lot. Yeah, Whitey. That's fine. How can anyone say Monty is doing a good job when he's missed out on big trades, had to fire Mike Brown, got rid of Fox, and got nothing valuable back? Well, let me just start with what you say at the end there. Did they really get nothing valuable back for Fox?
Dumb. That's
I disagree with that.
We just got a guy who scored 43 and 37 in the last 2 games. What are we talking about?
Yeah, and I know that pick was Charlotte that initially was like, oh, they got a first-round pick, and it's going to become second round. But they got 2 unprotected firsts.
Right.
And I know it's a thing that a lot of people on the other shows are talking about. Oh, I don't know who did this, but if you pull NBA GMs, 90% will say the Kings should have gotten more back for De'Aaron Fox. Well, Zack Lavine's playing really well. That's the whole thing. That's the Kings put a lot of eggs in that basket, and right now he's playing great. So we'll see. I disagree with the notion that Monty didn't get anything back for De'Aaron Fox. I just think that's patently false.
And here's the thing too, Whitey. And I've thought about this for a while. Maybe we overvalued De'Aaron Fox here. Think about it going back a few years ago with the Sabonis-Halliburton trade. Think about it with this trade. Maybe other teams don't view De'Aaron Fox the way we did here in Sacramento as the franchise level player. And if you're San Antonio, you're not giving up Stephon Castle. That was clear, right? That was clear.
Right.
And if you're another team and De'Aaron Fox says he wants to go to San Antonio, are you giving away everything for a 1-year rental, 1.5-year rental when he's going to leave anyway? And so I don't know if De'Aaron Fox's value was as high as a lot of people think it was out there.
Yeah, I've talked to people, some of whom know more about basketball than I do, who've said, oh, they should have just held on to him. They shouldn't have traded him. To me, I see the value of getting beyond that situation rather than having it hanging over your franchise.
Right.
You know, and maybe there was an idea. Once you fired Mike Brown, De'Aaron wasn't going to stick around. So once you know that, I could see why you would want to let's just sever ties, wish him the best, and move on with things rather than have that De'Aaron Fox. Is he or won't he going to stay with this cloud hanging over you?
Yeah. And the thing about De'Aaron, and I've said this even when he was here, this franchise, this organization goes how he goes. When De'Aaron is locked in, playing at that level, being that leader, we're pretty damn good. But towards the end there, we saw it wasn't the same. And so to your point, do you keep that around knowing the guy doesn't want to be here any longer? knowing the guy after the firing of Mike Brown wants to move on. Same thing with Jimmy Butler out there in Miami. Eventually, they moved on from him. They played hardball, obviously, but you don't want that cloud hanging over your organization, especially if you think you can compete in the West and actually make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. From the 916, great point. Don't you technically have to include JV in that Fox return?
Ooh, yeah.
It wasn't just a cut and dry one-for-one move to grade what the return for Fox was. Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't know if I'm in the minority. If I'm in the majority, it's not a big majority. I hope that Monty is back next year. I have no idea whether he will be or not. I think he's done a really good job in his 3+ years here. What was it? 4 years? However long he's been here. They've had
who, Monty?
Yeah.
No, this is 5th season.
5th season.
Yeah, he came in same time as I did.
Mm-hmm.
We revamped the organization together, big fella. I'm just saying,
there you go.
We revamped.
How about this? Some people have said, well, the Kings should tank. You don't want to get in the play-in. Well, John Hollinger points out the Kings could be in a situation where they actually clinch everything they can clinch the rest of this season, where they've clinched a home game and a 9th spot, and then they could still be playing games, in which case, here's what he says. The Kings owe a top 12 protected first-round pick to Atlanta. The Kings likely headed towards the play-in. The Kings make the playoffs, the pick conveys. If the Kings make the playoffs, then the draft pick is gone, and that's fine.
Right.
But if the Kings are eliminated in the play-in, that's when the fun begins. Point is, long story short, it's possible the Kings, in terms of the draft pick, they could be in a situation where they're better off losing the last game against Phoenix, or maybe even the game against the Clippers, depending on how things play out. What do you think they would do there?
I don't know, because I don't know how the organization views the draft pick. Meaning, do they want to be and get the 12, 13, 14, whatever it may be? Let's say it's the 12th pick, because then they keep it. Or would they rather convey it now so it opens up other things in the future?
Yeah.
Like that's if you're hell bent on, I love this draft, if we get number 12, we're going to find somebody there, then I could see them doing, maybe, not winning the last, because it could be wrapped up by tomorrow night, Whitey.
Yeah, I know.
Dallas loses.
Your buddy
Kings
Kyle Ledbetter
win.
pointed that out.
Yeah, it could. The ninth seed could be wrapped up
the
tomorrow.
Suns lose the Warriors tonight. They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
out.
So the Kings could already wrap up the number 9 seed tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just think it depends on how you view this draft and that potential pick.
Hollinger writes, the Kings would have a strong incentive to tank to preserve their pick, especially if it would help any of the Magic, Hawk, Bulls, or Heat either tie or pass them.
Yeah.
He also says, however, the Hawks would be just as incentivized to punt their finale to keep the Kings above them.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Based on the way the Kings have handled it to this point, I'm with you, Kyle. I would guess they're going to put their best foot forward.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, because you don't want to be like, are we talking about resting guys the last 2 games? It'd be different if we were Cleveland or we had been playing great we just now started playing good basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You want to continue this going into the postseason, into the play-in. And, this year the pick is what? Top 12. I think next year it's top 10 protected. And so I don't know. Everybody's hell-bent on keeping that pick this year. But if it's number 12, I don't know, Whitey. I don't know how.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice, but I don't know if it's the difference between playoffs and not keeping your pick.
You're going to convey it next year if you don't this year, right?
Right.
Most likely.
Most likely.
And I know there's a chance that it would become eventually 2 number 1. So again, it's like there's some upside to getting your books cleared of that and moving on.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mentioned this several times, man. It opens up your future draft picks to do some sort of deal, whether it's a player and picks or just picks or whatever it may be. Like, I feel like the Atlanta pick has kind of been hanging over our head for a number of years because we haven't been able to convey it yet. And so, and like I said, I don't know how the organization feels like this, but part of me would be thinking like, man, I just want to get this trade fully executed and done so I can make whatever moves I need to make with next year's pick. Let's say I want to trade that.
I think it would be hard to lose to the Suns even if you tried, basically.
Yeah, 6 straight losses.
Season.
I mean, and think about it too. That game, I can't imagine Durant, Booker playing any of those guys playing, because they'll be done. And so they're on the 1-2-3 Cancun tour right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get this season over with. And so I'm with you on that.
Yeah, you could probably play your reserves in the second half. You don't want anyone getting hurt with the play-in coming, and you could kind of play it halfway, but it's going to be tough. I think you look at the standings, it's going to be tough for them to keep that pick. I understand the motivation, like, we don't put our best foot forward here, it improves our chances, but you can't go into full tank mode because nothing's more humiliating than trying to lose and not being able to.
And how about I know, right? Yeah. But how about this too, Whitey? Why can't we have the best of both worlds? You make the play-in, maybe you don't make the playoffs, but you get the ping pong balls bouncing your way.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody ever talks about that either.
Yeah.
Like Cleveland got 3 number 1 picks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
They got so lucky. Why can't the Kings get some good luck, good fortune, if you will?
What is it, a 4% chance, I think, of moving into the top 4? But it's
I mean,
possible.
But anything's possible.
Yeah.
Like that would be maybe the best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get a top 3 pick, come on, man.
Did you hang out on the road with the G-Man at all?
No, he never invites me out anywhere. I see his post. I see him hanging with friends in restaurants. He never's like, Drapes, what you up to tonight?
Yeah.
I invite him to all kinds of places.
Does
he never
accept?
accepts? No, he never accepts. Never accepts. But
well, you're still a pup, only 5 years.
Only 5 years, right? I'm not 40 years in like him. You're right.
The great one, the G-Man, joins us next. Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Seasonably cool Wednesday morning with valley temperatures in the upper 40s, but it will be much warmer in the afternoon. Highs in the low to even mid-80s with plenty of sun. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Ready for an early bird special? A new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as $11,789. This is a limited offer and ends April 15th. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Advanced Infusion Center, where we prioritize your comfort and well-being. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or seeking specialized IV therapy, our state-of-the-art center offers tailored solutions to meet your needs. Advanced Infusion Center's dedicated healthcare professionals are here to ensure your safety and provide personalized care. Conveniently located in Sacramento and Yuba City with flexible scheduling options. Experience a new standard in infusion therapy. Visit Advanced Infusion Center today at advancedinfusion.com.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Are you ready to unlock your business's potential? Hey, I'm Alan Stiles, and you can do that with Roxas Technology Solutions. Their mission is to empower growth through cutting-edge, reliable, and scalable technology. They tailor solutions to enhance efficiency and foster innovation, ensuring your business thrives in the digital age. Located in Sacramento, their dedicated team is ready to partner with you for your long-term success. Transform your business now. Go to roxtech.com. That's WROXTECH.com. Rox Tech. Tomorrow's technology at your fingertips today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Rocks Tech, Michelob Ultra, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPFest.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
He got his start broadcasting when he was age 15.
Really?
Yeah, let's find out if it's true. How are you today, G-Man?
I'm more than tolerable. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Is it true, as your wiki page states, that you started as a broadcaster at age 15 at a telegraph station?
A telegraph station. I like it. It's like the days of the Pony Express. I'm not quite that old. I am old. But yeah, I started as a teenager. I was 14, 15 when I first had an opportunity to have my own show at a local radio station in my hometown of Midland, Michigan.
How about that?
Good stuff, G.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah. Hey, can we get your thoughts here? Not that we expect you to have any idea what's going on, but there have been so many surprising moves in the NBA this year. What was your reaction to hearing the news about Michael Malone being dismissed by the Nuggets?
Well, I was stunned. I think, like most other folks, and the fact that this has happened now, 2 times with Memphis and in Denver in the final weeks of a regular season. It's a different world that we're living in, and I think that it wasn't really a secret that there was friction between Malone and Calvin Booth as the general manager. And maybe they weren't tight and close and weren't the best of friends. But still, when you're coming down to the last week of the regular season, to have that happen, I was kind of blindsided by that.
Yeah, G-Man, me too. But the good news for Sacramento is we see this Denver team in turmoil tomorrow. We'll talk about the road trip coming up in a second. But how do you see this one playing out, considering that the Kings are on this 3-game winning streak and Denver's reeling right now?
Well, I think it's maybe easy to draw a conclusion that because Denver is reeling, that will open a door of opportunity for the Kings. But it's been my experience, excuse me, coughing up a lung here. Hang on. It's been my experience that when a team makes a coaching change, everybody kind of comes together. They refocus, they reunify. A great opportunity for David Adelman, the son of Rick Adelman, who was, of course, coach that had such amazing success in Sacramento for 8 different years. So I expect the opposite. I think that Denver is going to come fully loaded for bear, that they will want to prove a point, and I think the Kings better lace them up tight tomorrow night, no question.
Great. Gary Gerald, nice enough to join us. You know better than anybody how hard it is, G-Man, to figure this team out. Is it possible over the last 3 games that they may have figured something out as a team?
Well, you hope that that's the case. I certainly didn't see the success of these last 2 games in a back-to-back scenario at the end of one of the longest road trips of the year. But the win in Cleveland was as satisfying as any win the Kings have had this season, including their road win in Boston against the Celtics much earlier. And then to back it up on the second night with travel back-to-back in Detroit against a very respectable Detroit club. And the way the Kings took over in the second half and really dominated the outcome of that ball game was very impressive. So what does that mean to Sacramento hopes? Well, I hate the tanking talk. I know you guys were talking about it in your last segment a little bit, and I've never been a fan of that kind of talk. Unless you've got a generational player who could be in play, I have yet to see in my years that I can recall, draft pick in the 12, 13, 14 spot, whatever, come in and have a heavy impact for a team. Yeah, they may blossom over a course of a period of time, but I think that's to me, that's thinking and looking in the wrong direction. And I'm a big believer of playing the hand you're dealt. And maybe that sounds cliche-ish, but I really do believe that. And there's not a thing that you, me, anybody else, fans can do about. We can speculate, we can chatter and talk all we want, and that's the fan perspective, of course, but it doesn't mean a thing. So I'm just one of those that believes, all right, here's what you've got, here's what you're dealing with, do your best to make it better. And that's one of the things that I really like about Doug Christie. I think that he checks a lot of boxes in that respect. And I congratulate him. He's had so much thrown at him in 3.5 months of time since he took over the coaching reins of the Kings. And I hope he gets good, serious consideration for extending and making that job permanent for him. And I'm kind of digressing from your question, but those are some of the random thoughts that just come off the top of the old gray-haired fella's head.
The great G-Man, Gary Gerald. Hey, G-Man, you've seen some great performances in Sacramento Kings history. What do you make of the heater that Zack is on as of late?
Man, I'm loving it. I've been somewhat mystified. I appreciate the fact that when you make changes in the middle of the season, it takes probably much more time than any of us would believe to get people in their comfort zone, to get their confidence there. And I think Zack has been struggling with that. And Doug had talked at different times about, we want Zack to come in and be himself and let us, fit around him, utilize his talent and his skills rather than worrying about trying to fit in. Well, I think we're seeing that happen. And of course, these last 2 games have just been sensational. The guy knocking down 15 of 22 threes in the span of about 27 hours. Now the number 1 3-point shooter in the NBA by percentage points. So you love that. He's been shooting the ball well. But the thing that I've enjoyed seeing is an aggressive Zack Lavine, not always looking for the 3, but finding a way to he has amazing explosiveness and athleticism. He can get to the rim so easy and effortlessly on occasion. And I've sometimes wondered in my own mind, why aren't we seeing more of this? Why is it, is he trying to settle in? Now, I don't know that it's been generally known, and I don't think I'm telling anything out of school, but after that horrendous loss in the middle of the road trip in Washington, there was a players and coaches meeting, and the air was cleared on a number of topics, and communication issues were addressed, and some likes and dislikes were openly talked about. And we saw the result with a good positive effort in the next game in Charlotte, and then these 2 tremendous back-to-back wins against 2 highly respected teams, the Cavaliers and the Pistons. So maybe the Kings have turned a corner. But I'm also not naive, guys. I've been asked multiple times this year, is this maybe the craziest season that you've experienced? And in many, many ways, I say unequivocally, yes. I can't recall a season where we've been on such a dramatic roller coaster ride. Every year there are disappointments. Every year there are unexpected wins, things that, keep you going and fuel the fire. And this has been a strange and rocky path that the Kings have traversed here over the last several months.
That, of course, the great Gary Gerald, nice enough to join us. As we look at potential signs, indicators that this team is coming together, G-Man, how significant do you think it is that in each of the last 3 wins, which followed the meeting that you alluded to, Domas and DeMar and Zach have all had big games at the same time? It seems to me that's a pretty good indicator that they might be figuring this out as a big 3.
Yeah, anytime you get 92 points 2 nights ago in Cleveland from the big 3, and then get 99, I think it was last night from that trio, something is being done right, and some of the right buttons are being pushed. That's impressive stuff. And you have, you look at any team that has success in the NBA, and you have to have multiple stars, marquee type players. And the Kings aren't, the brightest light on the marquee by any stretch of the imagination. But you look at the capabilities and you look at what we've seen from that trio of Sabonis, DeRozan, Lavine in the last 2 days. I'm impressed, and I'm loving it. And maybe it's just because I've been starved for something good to happen. Because we don't want to come down to the end of the season and we forget. I think, and I say the collective we, that how abrupt a season can end.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to end on Sunday afternoon. I want them to have the play-in opportunity, and it would be marvelous if they could have it on the home floor against Dallas on, the following Wednesday of next week. And then, you hope you win, and you hope you get a chance to go on the road and sneak your way into the playoffs. And sure, you're going to have to go up. If you do, you got to go up against Oklahoma City. Oh, no sweat there, of course, in a best-of-7 series. So, but I think from the fan base standpoint and from the organization standpoint, you want to look at that and say, okay, it's a crumb, but it's a modicum of success. And it indicates that you're still on the right path, despite a season that's had so much change.
Speaking of crumbs, I'll have to make sure and ask if you want a cookie tomorrow night, G-Man, in the dining room.
No, he'll probably say no. Hey, G-Man, real quick before we let you go, I don't know if you heard us. He asked me, hey, have you ever hung out with G-Man on the road? I invite G-Man out all the time, man. Hey, next time we go on the road, maybe next season, can you take me to some of your favorite places, your favorite restaurants, G-Man?
If you like hole-in-the-wall places.
Love hole-in-the-wall places.
Because I'm just not one for, fancy dining. Yeah, it's wonderful. And one of the things that I love about the Kings organization in the last couple of years, that the whole travel party, you're treated as family, as it should be. It's not us against the world in terms of the coaching staff and the players. Everybody's in the travel party is included. And I love that. And I like that atmosphere. And that hasn't always been the case over many, many years with the Sacramento Kings. So, Drapes, in answer to your question, I'm a bit of a, I'm a bit of a loner on the road. You've discerned that now over 5 years.
All right, I'm not going to take it personal then, G-Man. I'm not taking it personal, man.
Yeah, well, that's the key. I mean, I don't want. If I thought you were taking it personally, I would almost be in tears. I never.
Hey, it's interesting though, fellas, because G-Man will post, and I'll be like, damn, that looks like a good spot.
Yeah,
I'm actually a hole-in-the-wall local kind of spot too, G-Man. So I may have to get a list from you of best restaurants and hole-in-the-wall spots on the road.
Yeah, well, over the years, you kind of accumulate some of those places you really look forward to sticking your head in there and seeing if those chili dogs still rise to the occasion.
That's what I tell him, G-Man. He's only been here 5 years. He's still a pup compared to you. Yeah. All right. Thanks, G-Man. We'll see you tomorrow night. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys. And let's have some fun these 3 remaining games, and let's go on from there.
Yes.
All right, G-Man.
Take care. When we come back, there's a biotech company that says it has brought an animal back from extinction for the first time. Are the Kings back from extinction? Next, Sacktown Sports.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body?
The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 connected propane grill with infrared side and rear burner is a dynamic evolution in grilling. Featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, it brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings all from your smartphone. With temperature probes and LCD display, you'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime, entertaining, and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
Testing.
We are live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
If you ever watched Game of Thrones, you know that they had these huge wolves called dire wolves. And that they used to be real creatures. dire wolves went extinct like 13,000 years ago, and they're back. Has nothing to do with Game of Thrones, but some company, Colossal Biosciences, they got some dire wolf DNA, and they did some gene editing restoration. Look at that, Drapes. The dire wolf is back from extinction.
Get out of here.
Cloning or whatever. It's kind of like a Jurassic Park
Yeah.
scenario. And they had to fill in some of the gaps in the sequencing with other wolves or something. But the dire wolf, which was extinct 10,000 years ago, they're back. And so are the Kings. If the dire wolf can come back, why can't the Kings from the brink of extinction, right?
I'm with you on that, right? All right, yeah, I'll let you continue on. Go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, when they lost to the Wizards, I thought, I think that's it. I don't know why, but I mean, if you can't beat the Wizards,
You weren't
what are we doing
worried
here?
about them making the play-in, though, were you?
No, I didn't figure they'd get out of it, though. I mean,
You-
because of the way they played.
all right.
You know, we had
So there's some
slates on
hope
that
now.
day. Yeah, we had slates on the next day, and he goes, when you lose a game like that, that shows that people are checking out. And I hadn't thought of that way,
yeah,
but I
that's what
realized,
I thought.
yeah, that's a bad one. But then since then, this team meeting, right? I know G-Man talked about it. Doug Christie talked about it last night. Everybody talks about those. By the way, that's a great time to have a team meeting right before you play Charlotte. That's like a
right?
Great time. Because no matter what happens, you're going to beat Charlotte, you would think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. I think there's reasons to be excited about the rest of the season. I don't know what's going to happen. And as you pointed out, you can't – G-Man said it too. Who knows with this team? But the last 3 games have been fun. That's all I'm looking for. Let's have some fun.
No, I'm with you, man. And here's the thing. It's when you look at the way they've played and who they've beaten, to me, that shows you they can compete with anybody if they come with the right mindset and the right mind frame and the right approach. And so whether it's opening up with Dallas or playing a Memphis or a Minnesota, one game, Whitey, I feel like we could compete with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I'm with you. And it was important to bounce back because I do agree. After that Washington game, that was the first time I thought, damn, dudes are checking out.
This
Like
ain't it,
they're ready to call it a season. They're tired. They're done. And maybe it was that team meeting afterwards that changed everything. But when I got to, where'd I go? Cleveland on Saturday, entirely different vibe. Guys were hanging out, watching the NCAA tournament games, coaching staff together. Like, people seem legitimately happy to be around each other.
Well, let me ask you then, before that, did it seem like, wow, something's not right? I'm not asking you to, gossip. I'm not asking, was so-and-so mad at anybody?
No,
you said it was great. Does that mean before that it just seemed like something was a little off?
It just seemed vibes were low.
Okay.
Guys knew they weren't playing well. So it was a little more quiet, Now you go to the meetings, there's more jokes being told. And this is something Doug talked about last night. I think it was after the game, might have even been before. But the chatter that you see away from the basketball court, on the team bus, on the plane, he said it's reminiscent of his playing days here in Sacramento. And when you have that, that's why he's so encouraged. I don't know if it was always like that. I don't get to sit with those guys in the front in the plane or but I have noticed the difference over the last 4 or 5 days, 100%.
I don't know what more you could expect from a coach in the situation that Doug Christie has been in. Coach Christie, as G-Man said, it's incredible the number of crises that he's had to guide his team through. The loss to the Wizards, the most recent one, where it looked like, okay, this whole season's going off the cliff. And he deserves some credit. I don't know how much credit. Who knows who exactly put this together? Maybe it was player-driven, but Doug Christie is the coach who helped this team pull this season back, not only back from the brink, but looks right now like they might be on track to continue to play good basketball into the postseason. That's remarkable.
Remarkable. And here's the thing, too, and I've said this, and I'll say it again. I think Doug Christie has to be sort of evaluated, not necessarily on the X's and O's, but the fight and the character of the players and the team. Because as great as Mike Brown was earlier this season, I didn't see the fight. I didn't see the same passion.
He mentioned that himself, in all fairness. He said that.
Yeah. And so for this team, here we are to go through everything they just went through, and G-Man touched base, to still come out and give a damn. Whitey, we could be like Phoenix. 6 in a row at the most critical part of the season. It would have been easy to fold up shop after that Washington loss and be like, man, this sucks. But no, Doug and the players, they said, know what? We still got something to play for. And I think that's where Doug should be evaluated at. The X's and O's, that's going to come. You bring some assistants in, you firm up the staff. Remember, they lost 2 coaches, Mike Brown and Luke Lauk. So you don't even have a full staff right now. And so you shore that up, and then you get, but it's clear these guys are still listening. Remember when Mike Brown was fired? That was the conversation. Are guys tuning them out? Are they not listening? We don't see that right now with Doug Christie, and I think he's done a hell of a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've still got a ways to go. We still got a lot of things to sort out. But I'm hoping that one of the things that was mentioned in the team meeting, and I'm not alluding to anything anyone has suggested, I have no idea. But I'm hoping maybe at some point, some of the players, if not everybody, decided, look, our backs are against the wall here. We're playing for our jobs, our futures. We're playing, there's people's jobs that are on the line now, depending on how the rest of this goes. So let's make the most of it.
And that's the thing, too. And when you look at, especially Doug, I'm talking with people behind the scenes, and it's like the way these guys play and compete is a reflection on Doug. And so if you lay down and play dead, that's a reflection on Doug. And now you're messing with perhaps his future as a coach here in this organization. And so, and that's the thing with Mike Brown too. I felt like the players let Mike down. Obviously some things were going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. But if you care for your coach and want to play for your coach, you don't lay down like that. You play hard. And it shows me the players are caring for Doug right now.
And it's been interesting to watch this whole strange season, how DeMar's role has changed. And understandably, he had to take something of a backseat, and he knew that was his role when he got here. But now, he's, even as Zack Lavine is emerging, as he should, as the best player, the most prolific scorer, DeMar seems like he's really more than he ever has running the show.
How about this, Whitey? DeMar DeRozan, #1 in usage on the Sacramento Kings currently. #2 behind De'Aaron Fox. But since the De'Aaron Fox trade, I looked these numbers up, and I'll pull them up again right now. Since the De'Aaron Fox trade, in usage, DeMar DeRozan for the Sacramento Kings leads the way, 25.5. So that means 25.5% of your possessions in with DeMar DeRozan making some sort of decision, if you will.
Yeah.
Whether it's the shot, the pass, the turnover, the free throw, whatever.
Assists don't factor into usage rate.
Really?
Yeah. I was just reading that.
I thought they did.
And maybe there's different,
Yeah, okay. No, you're probably right.
Yeah, they take into account turnovers and shots.
It's whatever the last
but like an assist
thing
doesn't.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah. That's why a couple of years ago, Jokic, I think it was the year he lost the MVP to Embiid, actually.
He didn't lead him.
His usage rate, like for a guy that was putting up his numbers, like, how does he do that with his usage rate? Because they didn't calculate assists as part of it. But the point obviously still stands, which is he has just been assuming a larger and larger role going forward with this team.
Yeah, DeMar is first, Malik second, Zach third, Domas is fourth. I'm going to look something up real quick. I would love to look at Domas's usage before the trade. You know what I mean? Like, where was he to start the season to the point where the trade was actually made?
Yeah.
Because it seems like, but recently they're getting back to it. They took the ball out of his hands a lot, it seems like.
Yeah. And now the conundrum is, well, wait a minute. The last 3 games you've played so well, your big 3 has played so well. That's without Keegan. We love Keegan, but what does that mean? Does that mean when he comes back, he's going to have to take fewer shots for the good of the team? And what about Malik? And we don't even know about Malik's health, but that's the thing with the Kings, right? It's like you take 2 steps.
It's always something, right?
Yeah, but
yeah, we got to find out. And the Kings usually, I don't know if you've noticed this, they always seem to release information on injuries like after 6. Something like that. You ever notice that? It just seems a little late usually. I need to double check, but it feels like, and this isn't by coincidence or, on purpose. It's just a coincidence. But as soon as we go off the air, I'll be at home 8:00. Jake LaRavia update or somebody, so maybe we'll hear something with Malik tonight.
Yeah. So what kind of team are the Kings going to face tomorrow night? By the way, we have Tony Jones from The Athletic, bottom of the hour, and he and Sam Amick wrote a story in The Athletic about what's going on with the Nuggets. So what kind of Nuggets team, what state of mind will the Nuggets be in when they come to Sacramento tomorrow? More on that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
As seen on Crazy Rich Asians, Silicon Valley, and more, it's Jimmy O Yang, Big and Tall Tour.
She was like, babe, what's your love language? I'm like, what? A love language could be words of affirmation. I was raised by Asian parents. Their love language is verbal abuse.
Saturday, April 12th, the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss them, Sacramento. Jimmy O Yang, Big and Tall Tour.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, we're focusing on the Kings, but we're not turning our back on the Stockton Kings. Playing right now, Drapes, what do we got? NBA G League Finals.
Our boy Mason Jones always got the green light. What did you say, Whitey? You got the green, the yellow, the purple, the orange light.
The whole street.
Yeah, the whole
Yield.
street.
Do not back up, severe tire damage. Got them all.
Yeah, right now, Stockton on top, 20-18 against the Osceola Magic.
This is on ESPNU, correct?
Yeah,
yeah.
Kings.
Channel's in our studio right now.
What is it? 788, I think, Jay.
Okay, we diving deep.
Yeah, you gotta get up there, bro. You gotta get up there. 788. Magic got Mac McClung.
Ooh.
Here he is looking to go to work.
ISO.
Yeah,
ISO.
look at him. Oh, he hit that and the foul.
Bottom of the circle. Floater.
Fellas, I'll say this real quick, not to hijack the show. People listen.
Really?
When you guys talk, or I should say when we talk, we listen. I got a buzz here from one of our Stockton connects.
What they say?
Who just offered me. It says, and I'll post it, and hopefully you guys will retweet it or blue sky it. Here's my link. It is a $10 ticket anywhere in the bowl. First come, first serve.
For Friday?
For Friday's night's game.
That's a sweet deal right there.
$10 anywhere in the bowl, lower bowl. How about that?
That's tremendous.
Come on, man. That's what we'll do. So I'll
Sacramento
post the
weather
link
is
on Twitter and Blue Sky.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
That was a fun atmosphere. Thanks again to the Stockton Kings for having us out there.
Yeah. That's a good deal, too.
I'd like to say they weren't doing anything till we came out there, but that's not
right. We came out there last home game of the regular season. Yeah.
They're having a great season. So tonight, the Phoenix Suns could be eliminated, taking on the Warriors. So, Drapes, are you saying Kings fans should be rooting for the Warriors tonight?
Yeah, I think so. Let's get it over with, right? Then we know the Kings definitely are in the play-in. Put Phoenix out of their misery. Then that means they won't be trying hard on Sunday. So, yeah, on this one game, root for the Warriors.
Or maybe just hope they win. Rather, it's hard to
don't root for the Warriors
in some ways. Yeah, for some people.
Root against the Suns.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about this before, but do you have any thoughts here on who you'd like to see involved in the play-in with the Kings. Kings, Mavericks, presumably, and right now it's a jumble right above them. Who else do you want to see there?
No, I think for me, I want to see when I look at it, I don't want to touch the Warriors. I think Steph and then Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy. I don't like that matchup. I don't want to see Denver, even though, they got some turmoil. The team I'm circling, Memphis or Minnesota.
Yeah.
Those are Clippers have been a bad matchup this season for us for some reason. But, Memphis, new coach, the John Morant situation, I look at Memphis, and maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm jinxing this. But I'm not afraid of anybody going off on us. Like Triple J ain't coming out and having a 40-point game on us, I don't think. John Morant, as great as he is, I don't think he's putting up 40. He's not doing what Steph could do, what Jokic could do, what Ant-Man
just doesn't
could
shoot
do.
well enough.
Right, exactly. And so I think we match up pretty decently with those guys.
Yeah, Memphis figures to be vulnerable, and maybe Denver too now. With their coaching changes, it'd be nice to play them for a spot in the playoffs on the line. But there's something about a potential matchup with the Warriors, like it is your destiny. Just playing the Warriors in the play-in, with a chance to knock them out.
And I thought we put dirt on their grave last season, Whitey, by beating them in the play-in, and here they are, still a thorn in our
They
side.
ain't dead yet.
I don't want to see it, man. I don't want to see that matchup. I don't want to see Golden State, because then we got to go down there to the Chase Center and play them.
You just don't want to have to deal with Bonte. But just think how good it'll feel to tell Bonte and Mully and Festus that we'll see you next year.
Bonte's a company man now.
Great, my pleasure, man.
Bonte's a company man now. He's full-time NBC employee, man. I ain't got time for him. They're company men out there. I don't deal with them anymore.
Interestingly, you look at the Nuggets that are coming in tomorrow, and as you said, hey, they could be reeling. Nobody knows, but, G-Man said teams like that, sometimes I think he used the term loaded for bear, so who knows?
That's an old school line right there. I want to look at the updated injury report, because the Jamal Murray situation, that's something to monitor. I think he's missed the last 5 games, Whitey. They've lost 4 of them, and so I think without Jamal Murray, Jokic has to do so much. He doesn't play any defense. I'm talking about Jokic. And so I think we should be able to get them. And this will be the first time they got to answer questions about their coach and GM being let go. And so I think they are right for the pickings right now.
I think how they play may hinge on what exactly happened. If somebody in the organization, like one of the various Cronkies that spoke today, if he was, totally on the level, it's like, hey, we made this decision and the players had nothing to do with it, the players will be fine. But if there's something going on where, some of the players maybe snuck in like, hey, we got to get rid of this guy, and they don't want people to know that could weigh them down tomorrow. I have no reason to believe that's the case, by the way. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and, the thing about it, a couple of weeks ago, Mike Malone, and I'm sure you might have seen this quote circulating on social media, where he talked about, some guys might not be buying in, don't give a rat's, what, will just be like, coach is tripping if he criticizes them. And then other guys, it seems like it's a fractured locker room to an extent, in terms of some guys are listening to coach, others aren't. Updated injury report for Sacramento real quick. They have Jake LaRavia is out once again. Malik Monk is definitely out tomorrow, and Keegan Murray questionable. Denver has not put in their injury report yet.
Okay, but that's all we have on.
Yeah, that's
Malik.
what we got
Just
right
out.
He's just out.
Michael Malone, to me, he's been kind of on thin ice ever since they won that championship, because in the years since then, and what's it been, not quite 2 full years, right? If I'm correct. He has pushed that team hard, because he's been trying to get them to get back to that level, and he has been openly critical of them. And that today's NBA, I think he's a great coach.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan, and I'm sure he'll land on his feet. But that's tough to do when you repeatedly bang on that drum, like, these guys aren't, they don't want to win. They don't have the belly for the fight, and it works, but it doesn't work for a long time. And maybe that's just, he's worn out his his stay there.
Yeah, and he's kind of a hard coach to play for, like
Yeah.
you said, because of he's always hammering that message and probably has a shelf life.
Exactly.
I mean, 10 years, of listening to that, players start to tune you out. It's just nature. Hell, look at Mike Brown. It was only 2 years and change that, it seemed like guys started to tune him out. And so he's not a Eric Spoelstra type. The only guy who's gotten away with it is probably Popovich, right? Because he's kind of grading.
Because he's had the full backing of the front office and ownership.
Yeah, exactly. And so he'll get another job, but it'll be the same thing. He'll succeed, and then his act will wear thin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not sure he had another option because he did want to get this team, back on track, and he just felt that's the way they're going to respond. But as you say, that short shelf life that only works in the short term. So maybe that all ends up working in the Kings' favor. And now you got former Kings coach Michael Malone out, and you got the son of former Kings coach Rick Adelman, David Adelman is in.
Yeah, this is I look at it like
Doug Christie coaching against his old coach's son.
I know, right? But remember what happened with Doug when he first took over for Mike Brown? That first game against the Lakers, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like Adelman's being thrust into right now.
Right.
And so they only got 3 games left to go. I can't see an immediate uptick 24 hours after the coach got fired in a stunning, shockingly fashion.
So what the heck happened with Michael Malone in Denver? We'll find out when Tony Jones from The Athletic joins us next on Sacktown Sports.
Northwest Exteriors wants to keep you cool all season long. Trusted in Sacramento for heating and cooling systems. Book your tune-up today as part of our 30th anniversary special. Call 888-TRUST-NW or visit trustnorthwest.com.
Simply the best. Trust Northwest.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Northwest Exteriors.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Seasonably cool Wednesday morning with valley temperatures in the upper 40s, but it will be much warmer in the afternoon. Highs in the low to even mid-80s with plenty of sun. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning?
RV wins!
Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
When it is all on the line, you need a big-time closer, especially true when it comes, of course, to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door, get a brand new one installed, or maybe you just need to figure out what exactly is wrong with your garage door. In any case, any of those cases, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated, been around since 1974. And that's because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts. Styles, prices, quality of the new doors will amaze you. And the main thing is, I've known the family for a long, long time. I knew them before I knew they had anything to do with garage doors. And they're really good people, and you can trust them. And you're going to get a fair deal, a good deal, and you're going to get great service from the people at National Garage Door. They sell quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, installation on all your residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 916-638-4554. That's National Garage Door.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
When you stay in your home, what you love gets to stay too. From the gardens that grow wild to the grandkids that run wilder. From the Friday night baseball games to the Sunday morning brunches. Even the daily crosswords and weekly book clubs. There's room for it all with help from Home Instead, the largest in-home senior care network with over 30 years of trusted experience delivering the peace of mind you deserve. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Spring is in the air, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping for new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Cal Draper with a G League update. What do we got, Drapes?
Hey, I'm watching Osceola and our Stockton Kings battle. Second quarter, 9:55 left to go. Magic on top by 2, 37-35. John Elmore of the Kings got 6 points.
We got a ball game in Osceola.
Yes.
Yeah. How many times do you say that? I know we have a very special guest who's going to shed some light on today's biggest NBA mystery, and I know he's a longtime friend of yours.
Yeah, I'm looking at his social media bio. He covers the Jazz and Nuggets and the NBA for The Athletic. Calls himself a hoops addict, a doting father. Now, this is where it gets a little shaky. Akron born, trying to be a little too much like LeBron. Brooklyn, Philly raised, trying to be a little too much like me. It's my guy, Tony Jones of The Athletic. What's up, Tony? What's going on, man?
I mean, I was literally born in Akron. I don't know what you want from me here.
All right. You following LeBron's footsteps, I see. Hey, man, first
no, Brian's following my footsteps. I was born before him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, are you coming to Sac? Are you in town for this one tomorrow?
I wasn't going to be, but now I am.
I wonder why. Anything going on out there in Denver with those Nuggets? What the hell happened with Michael Malone, man? What happened?
I have no idea. I just go where they tell me to go, and all I know is I got a call today. They were like, "Get out to Sacramento."
Wow. What can you tell us about the Michael Malone firing, and how shocking was it for you?
Well, I wasn't shocked at all. I was just surprised by the timing. But
wow.
But I wasn't shocked by the firing at all.
Why did the Nuggets, Tony, why did they fire the coach and let it be known that the GM will not be back instead of choosing one or the other?
So it's basically like a parent with feuding children, right? And the parent steps in and is tired of the feud that is ongoing and basically says, you guys are both on punishment. And so this is what this was. I mean, this was a feud, a power struggle, a Cold War, pretty much any, whatever adjective you want to use between Calvin Booth and Michael Malone. And, what ended up happening was Josh Kroenke, the Nuggets owner, stepped in and relieved both of their duties. And here we are.
The timing, Tony, obviously is a little shocking, I would say. Was there something that tipped it off? Was there a tipping point where it had to be done right now?
Well, the tipping point is that Malone lost the locker room, and ownership essentially concluded that the season was on its way of irrecoverably, whatever that word is, going off the rails. And this was an attempt by Kroenke to save the season. And the issues between Malone and the front office had gotten to a point where it had seeped into the locker room, and it had clearly seeped into Denver's play on the floor, and the locker room was unhappy. And when I say the locker room was unhappy, this is the core guys in the locker room, and including Nikola Jokic. And, when it gets to that point, then, something kind of has to be done.
Tony Jones with us from The Athletic. He and Sam Amick have the story in The Athletic today of what went down with Michael Malone and the Nuggets. Tony, how long would you say this has been brewing, as far as at what point did Michael Malone really start to lose that locker room in your estimation?
Well, the feud has been brewing for years, and it dates all the way back to 2023. As far back as that, kind of intensified last year, and it kind of came to a head this year. But Malone, who's a great coach. And, the thing with Malone, I would put him and Nick Nurse in kind of the same category. Like, these are great coaches, great minds, who are maniacal in, the way that they prepare and their attention to detail, and, just not afraid to challenge their guys.
Right.
And, I think guys like that eventually, they have an expiration date.
Yep.
In the locker room. Right. So, Malone had been there for 10 years. He's winningest coach in Nuggets history, probably the best coach in Nuggets history. All respect to George Karl. But he has an expiration date. There's a point in time where guys have been there for a long time, and Malone probably needs them in the locker room. And Malone's going to move on, and he's going to get another job, and he's going to turn that team around, and he's going to take that team to great heights, and he's going to have an expiration date with that team. So this is kind of what happened. I think he reached his expiration with this locker room, and it just got to a point where a change needed to be made. And the fact that this was on top of, a feud between him and the front office, and the front office and him, just kind of made it easy for the owner to step in and just kind of wipe the slate clean.
Tony Jones of The Athletic joining us. He covers the Nuggets, the Jazz, and the NBA. Hey, Tony, you talked about how it's impacted the core players. What have you seen from Jokic on the floor and how it has impacted him? I look at the numbers. He's putting up Hall of Fame, top 5 of all time kind of numbers. But then ESPN is showing clips of him not hustling on defense, guys not closing out on the three. What have you seen, how it's manifested itself on the floor with this team?
Well, I think, you look at Jokic, and he's a guy who rarely shows emotion. And if you watched the Golden State game, he kind of lost it emotionally on the bench there. So, little chinks in the armor. That's an outward show of emotion. I think that if we're looking at this objectively, he's having one of the best offensive seasons basketball-wise that the NBA has ever seen. He's probably having one of the worst defensive seasons. Not historically, but, he hasn't been great defensively this year. Thought he was really good defensively in 2023. I thought he was less good defensively in 2024. I think that, he's kind of fallen off the cliff defensively in 2025. But he hasn't been alone. Nobody's defended well, with Denver this year. And, I think that there's been a noticeable lack of energy. I think there's been a noticeable lack of spirit, especially, in this last week where, they faced some must-win games and they've lost them. They're riding their first 4-game losing streak of the season. So this is an attempt to really save the season. They need to win, that game tomorrow against Sacramento. They really need to win that game, because if they don't win that game, they might be seeing Sacramento next week in the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just think that, Josh Kroenke just really figured that a change really needed to be made at this point.
Tony Jones from The Athletic with us. It's kind of funny, Tony, because tomorrow we'll have Doug Christie coaching against the son of his old coach here with the Kings, David Adelman, of course, Rick Adelman's son. But I wanted to ask you, in your estimation, how realistic is it to think that this move in the short term, the rest of this year, might actually benefit the Nuggets on the court?
Well, that's the hope, right? Like, if you have Nikola Jokic, you have a puncher's chance to win a championship. They're going to have, assuming they make the playoffs, they're going to have the best player in any series that they can face, that they're going to face. And, but it's very evident at this point that people need to come along for the ride. Michael Porter Jr. needs to come along for the ride. Jamal Murray needs to get healthy and come along for the ride. Aaron Gordon, all of those guys. Jokic has been, pretty superhuman of late. I mean, this is a guy who dropped 60 last week, and it was and had a triple double. This is a guy who had a 40-point triple double. Who kept Denver in the game on the road against Golden State. But he needs help. He can't do it alone. And so this. The Nuggets need to figure it out defensively, or try to figure it out as best they can defensively. And, they need their guys to kind of come along for the ride. So, assuming that can happen, they have a puncher's chance of getting out of the Western Conference and competing for a championship.
Tony, final question, man, before we get you out of here. I know you're coming to town for tomorrow's game. What's the latest on Jamal Murray and his injury situation?
No, I've been told that he's, still going to be listed as day-to-day going forward. This is, growing, hamstring issue that's kind of bled into a few other things. But he's, he's going to be listed as day-to-day going forward, and they're going to try to get him healthy and get him ready and get him back on the floor.
Tony, we appreciate it. Thanks. We'll probably talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
I'll see you out at the arena tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be out there.
Yeah. Good at the arena. Thanks, Drake.
All right, baby.
You got to run for me?
Man, come on. I'm retired, man. These knees are done, bro. These knees are done.
You're telling me that you're retired?
Dude, I'm still trying to recover from my spring basketball league that just wrapped up, man. I'm done, man.
Yo, you really disappoint me, bro.
You find me on the golf course. I'm old man energy right now.
That really disappoints me. You're telling me that you are retired. That's crazy.
What time you get into town? You coming tonight? I might find a run just for you, just so I can wear you out.
I am going to. Yes, please pause. I am going to get into town in time to get to the arena tomorrow, but I'm not leaving town until about 3:00 on Thursday.
Oh, hey, it's my birthday Thursday too, bro. Turning 50. The big 50. So we're gonna have to chop it up for sure.
You're turning 50?
Yeah, man, I'm old, bro. See, that's why I'm retired. Even LeBron gonna be retired by 50, so I might as well retire.
LeBron might not be retired by 50.
Hey, real quick though, before I let you go, Tony, because you know basketball better than anybody I know. Whatever you say, I listen to you, Tony. LeBron or Jordan?
LeBron.
All right.
Listen, he's a better basketball player than Jordan. That's just what it was. That's just what it is.
That's not me talking to everybody. And Jay, I don't need to ask him in what way. We all know he a better passer. He a better facilitator. He a better guard all 5 positions. Like, come on now, Tony, in what way is LeBron better than Jordan? Please school these cats.
When you roll the basketball on the floor, if you put one of them on one side and the other on the other, LeBron's going to play it better than Michael.
Ooh. Michael will get his points. He'll play some defense, but he ain't doing much more than that. He ain't making guys better like LeBron is. LeBron has saved careers in the NBA, extended careers in the NBA. I'm with you, Tony.
And this is not just because I was born in Akron.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like, what?
There it is.
Tony and Brian Windhorst drinking out the same pot.
Thank you, Tony.
All right, bro. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I figured that was the mic drop moment.
Exactly. All right, T. That's good stuff.
When we come back, are you ready, Drapes, for Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, we'll do it next on Sack Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Seasonably cool Wednesday morning with valley temperatures in the upper 40s, but it will be much warmer in the afternoon. Highs in the low to even mid-80s with plenty of sun. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Ready for an early bird special? A new HVAC system replacement, both heating and cooling, for as low as $11,789. This is a limited offer and ends April 15th. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No. We tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes. Our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 connected propane grill with infrared side and rear burner is a dynamic evolution in grilling. Featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, it brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings all from your smartphone. With temperature probes and LCD display, you'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime, entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills. Simply the best.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, for the A's to have any chance of contending this year, it will start with starting pitching. And besides the tough outing by Joey Estes in the home opener, and looking back at the Seattle series and led by offseason acquisitions Luis Severino and Jeffrey Springs, the A's starters went 23 2/3 innings. They allowed just 14 hits and 3 earned runs. Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business with reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solution, and Wi-Fi backup. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. For details on special offers, including free professional installation and up to a $500 Visa prepaid card on qualifying internet bundles, log on to business.comcast.com. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Andrew Franks in the chat says, can we calm down? Lavine has been on fire last night. Him shooting was crazy. Watch them get run over by the flailing Nuggets. I hope I'm wrong, but this team, there's up and down all year. Not anymore.
Man, that's a Debbie
Andrew
Downer.
Franks.
Jeez,
Yeah.
get outside. It's sunny
Yeah.
out, Andrew. Man, enjoy basketball.
That's a
Calm down.
Carmichael Dave move right there, by
That's
the way. It's
awful.
like the Kings should tank and they're not going to go anywhere, and this team is broken. I hope I'm wrong.
Right. My gosh, that can't be a fun way of living. Jeez.
Yeah. Did you see I texted Dave, or not texted him? I posted on X last night. I asked him, can we have your permission, Carmichael Dave, to feel good about this win?
Oh, yeah. Did he hit you back there?
Yeah,
Did he talk
said,
about you?
absolutely.
Okay. all right.
Absolutely.
Just that one win, though. Not the outlook for the rest of the season or anything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I get, and I think he may have even in his reply might have put in I hope I'm wrong. So,
Right.
yeah. I hope nobody is wrong. I hope everybody gets everything right in Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for April the 8th. I think Kyle Draper maybe has been on a little roll.
I
here,
have
huh?
been. Dude, ever since basketball season tipped off, and I only got another week or so to go here of the regular season. So.
Yeah, we are into baseball season now. The Wayback quiz, by the way, brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We appreciate that. So KD against JJ. Still working on that tournament, by the way. But you start, KD. Here are your categories. This state, what year in baseball? 1974, 1975, 1989, 1991, and 1996.
1974, Dave Cowens.
1974. It's a multiple choice for you.
Yeah, I know it's a basketball Celtics question.
Hank Aaron.
Ah.
This is a glorious day.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron, this day, 1974, hit home run number 715.
Really? Was it
Babe
today?
Ruth. Yeah.
I didn't see that. Nobody said anything on social or anything about it.
Your question is, with what team did Babe Ruth hit home run number 714? Was it the Yankees, the Red Sox, or the Braves?
It's a trick question, Whitey.
Is it?
Damn, that's a tough one. Because he got me thinking, Jay.
This day, 1974,
He got me-
Hank Aaron hit home run number 715 to pass Babe Ruth. With what team did Ruth hit home run number 714?
The Yankees.
Yankees is not correct,
I
Jay.
knew it. I knew it.
My bad. I'm sorry. What? Give me the question. I
You
heard
got
about
it.
Babe Ruth something.
This day, 1974,
Yep.
the Hammer hit home run number 715 to pass Babe Ruth.
Okay.
With what team did Babe Ruth hit number 714? Was it the Red Sox or was it the Braves?
Ooh, that was.
Chance to steal for Jay.
Braves.
Damn.
Boston Braves is correct.
I knew it.
The Boston Braves.
You tricked me on that one, Whitey. You got. That's all right, man. You had me.
Double trick question.
That was
You
a
tricked
double
yourself.
trick.
Yeah, Jay, you got the point, and
Over,
you're up.
yeah.
This day, what year in baseball? 1975, 1989, 1991, and 1996.
Go 1989. Danny
1989.
Tartable.
That is correct. No, that's going to happen someday.
I know, right?
This day, 1989. Who becomes the first player ever to score 2,000 or more points in 8 straight seasons? Who becomes the first player ever to score 2,000 or more points in 8 straight seasons? Larry Bird, Moses Malone, Alex English.
Oh, you sly. You sneaky with
Yeah,
this
he's
one.
sneaking one in there.
89, 8 years in a row.
Yeah, the first player to score 2,000 or more points.
First
in
player.
straight seasons. Larry
Man.
Bird, Moses Malone, Alex English.
I remember asking you guys this months ago, maybe a year or so ago. We were talking about Alex English balling. You guys are like, man, have you not seen the points Alex English was putting up?
Nah, he was more of a facilitator, bro.
Okay, yeah.
That's a veteran move right there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going Alex English.
That is correct.
Dang it.
You said, nah, man, he was more like Magic out there.
John Stockton and Alex English.
Magic
Dropping
Stockton
dimes.
English. Who-
Yeah, I knew Jay was going to get that one. Oh, man.
Jay's off the quick start
He's
here, the
off to a
2-0
great start.
lead. So, Drapes, you got this day, what year in baseball? 1975, 1991, and 1996.
Baseball.
This day, what year in baseball? All right, so you get to hear it. You
Yeah.
decide who goes first. This day, what year in baseball? The brand new Royals, Pilots, Padres, and Expos all win their very first games. This day, what year?
I'll let Jay go first.
Jay, this day what year?
Okay.
Brand new Royals,
Yep.
Pilots, Padres, Expos all win their very first games this day what year?
Read that one more time. My apologies. I'm trying to work on Return of the Roar stuff.
This date what year in baseball?
Okay.
The brand new Royals,
Yeah.
brand new Pilots, brand new Padres, brand new Expos. They all win their very first games.
Ooh.
Jay with a
I'm
2-0
say
lead.
Yeah, he's panicking back.
Yeah, I'm shaking. I gotta pinpoint. This is Drake's question too, huh?
Yeah.
He had me go first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
freeze him out.
73.
1973. Drapes this day what year in baseball? Brand new Royals, Pilots, Padres, Expos all win their very first game.
And Jay said
1973.
72.
1969.
Man, I was right there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
2-1. Jay, you're up. 1975, 1991, 1996. You lead 2-1.
Let's go 1991.
All right. This is my least favorite question in
Frame
the whole
grip.
thing, but
got to do it the Eagles.
this date, 1991, multiple choice. Which stadium becomes the first outdoor stadium in the U.S. to ban smoking?
Ooh.
Dodger Stadium, Oakland Coliseum, Candlestick Park.
You know what I want to say, right?
I know, right?
That's some strong ass garlic fries. Let's see.
The garlic.
91 banned smoking.
First outdoor stadium in the U.S. to ban smoking.
I see you went all three California teams
Yeah,
because that was a good. That's the way I was gonna go. Oakland, man, we puff stogies in Oakland. Can't be Oakland. Just seems like something them chumps would do over across the Bay Bridge.
Look at Jay.
We do need an answer.
The SEALs not inhaling all that smoke. I'm gonna go San Francisco.
Candlestick Park. Not correct.
Ooh.
He said San Francisco?
Yes, he did. Which stadium this day, 91? The first outdoor stadium.
Oakland.
Correct.
Yeah. Whitey gave us a hint. He said it was his least favorite question.
Oh, that's just because I thought it was a dumb question.
Oh, all right.
But,
I thought
you solved it.
Where you grew up and everything, that era.
No,
and
I just
everything.
thought
Okay.
that's smoky.
Yes.
Yeah. 2-2.
To come back.
Yeah. So you're up, Drapes, and with this
I go first.
this will
Yeah, I go
determine
here.
The winner here. Time is almost expired. 1975, 1996. 1996, multiple choice.
Dream Team Part 2.
What team beat Chicago 98-97 to snap the Bulls' record 44-game home winning streak over 2 seasons, as well as snapping the Bulls' NBA record 37 consecutive home game winning streak to start a season? Was it Denver, Toronto, Charlotte? This day, 1996. They beat Chicago. Snapping the Bulls' NBA record. 44-game home winning streak over 2 seasons, snapping the NBA record 37 consecutive home games to start a season. For the game.
Come on.
Charlotte. Bam! He's got it. Walking it off. Kyle Draper. Good match. Good win. Stick around. Return of the Roar is next.
Weak.
On Sacramento Sports.